Hello, welcome back to WTC. We're preparing for the final round here, round 6, to determine the champions between Finland Blue and
Australia
Australia
Wombat.
Wombat, which I guess goes woo woo or something like that.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yep.
That's right.
So expect to hear a lot of that coming up shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we're just figured we'd come back, talk to you guys a little bit. We've seen both of these teams, obviously, both of them today. So we've got the list pairs, and Chad and I are probably going to speculate a little bit,
see how wrong we
little
can be.
show how little we know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
See if we can be more than 13%
yeah, exactly.
this time.
So just as a reminder, Team Finland Blue has a Troll player with Madrak 2 and Elemental Evolution. Has a Kador player with Butcher 3, the Butcher 3 list that has the 4 jacks that we saw kill Assyria, and Butcher 2 tier. Henry, Menoth player with Fiora 2 and Harby. A Crix player with Lich 2 and Denny 1. And then a Signar player with a Haley 1 Stormwall Galleon combo and a Haley 2 Stormwall player. And then the Australians have a Crix player with Denny 1, Scar 1, a Circle player with Chromac 2, Kruger 2, a Legion player with Lilith 2, Thagrush 2, a Retribution player with Assyria and Raven, and then they also have a Circle player with Haley 2.
Signar.
Or Signar player, sorry, with Haley 2, but a Thorn build, no Colossal, and then Haley 3. So I don't know if just looking at these right off the bat, anything jumps out as obviously I think the Aussies would like to get their Retribution into the Menoth matchup.
They might want to get Trent into the Crix player into Finland's Troll player, although he has EE as one of his pairs, and so unless Trent has a specific game plan in mind for EE, then he might want to try and dodge that matchup and give it to someone else that feels that they can do better. Although I think that, knowing Trent, I'm guessing that he's probably confident in that matchup.
Sure.
So he does have Scar 1, which is a decent counter to, it can be a decent counter to EE. Are there any other like really standout?
Well, the one thing that I can't help but notice and think about, just because of the number of times that Keith has talked to us about it, the 2 Signar players, you have one Haley 2 Stormwall, one Haley 2 Thorn. Should they be matched up together, Keith has always said you got to take Haley 2 into Signar, and Haley 2 Thorn beats Haley 2 Stormwall in a mirror match. So,
Can you extrapolate on why? I've never gone into this discussion.
oh really?
Yeah.
I believe that Keith prefers Haley 2 for Signar mirror matches. Just the control from the feet as well as deceleration, I think, is the combination of things that you want to typically use to fight Signar. I know that.
And then with Thorn, I'm guessing Haley can. The other Haley is
she has
slightly more vulnerable.
Right. So the Haley Stormwall that Haley is frequently just tied to where her Colossal is, following her Colossal. She has less general impact on the game. She's doing one thing quite well, but doing it over and over again, and it doesn't leave her room to kind of riff and play on the game as it expands. Whereas Haley 2 with Thorn, as we know, is capable of doing literally anything at any time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Also, I'm curious if they want Kruger 2, perhaps from the Australian team, to get James Morehouse into the Signar player.
Into the
as
Signar
well, 'cause
player,
that
yeah.
might be because I think that's his. Given that she's got two pairs with Colossals in them, the double Colossal Haley 1 and then the Stormwall version of Haley 2. Kruger 2 can be a very strong
That's very true.
matchup into that. So they might be looking to try and edge their way into getting that pair somehow.
Yeah.
If I was the Finland team to try and avoid that, I mean, if that's really the matchup that they're worried about, I don't know. But to try and avoid that, you can try and put Yako first to maybe
to get a couple options. Yeah,
choice
absolutely.
of options.
Absolutely.
Because if they leave those, remember, whoever loses the roll, the last 2 players that they leave are going to get to determine the matches.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So.
Right.
So if they have multiple bad matchups, then you want to put those players up first
what do we see, I guess, here as kind of like some of the skew problems that each country is presenting? Right off the bat, when I think about that, I'm looking at Ben
With Lilith too?
with Lilith too.
Right,
Like that's the immediate. Uh, so the question is just kind of like, where is or what is the Finnish response to the Lilith 2 player?
Well, they do have Fiora 2 in their mix.
They do, yeah.
So she is immune to fire,
Very,
which means
yeah.
that she takes the assassination like right off the table right there.
Yeah.
Then past that, the Madric list, is that the one with Pyre Troll, Storm Troll?
I will double check. It's the one that we just saw. This last round. Let me pull it up real quick. No, it's the one with Mulg. It's just Mulg, and then the.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, Elemental Evolution has a Pyre Troll. In it.
Absolutely.
Any troll list with a Pyre Troll, I feel like, has a pretty decent chance against
Against
any
those
Legion
two.
list, especially a Legion shooting heavy
Okay.
force.
Okay.
Although then he might be able to counter the EE by dropping his Thagrosh 2 list, which we saw, which is rife with melee heavies and strong melee prowess. And that could be a problem for Calandra to deal with.
Sure.
Also, Sign's Importance on one side to kind of cancel out Starcrossed on the other side, ensuring, pretty much rolling 7 every time,
Right.
which is fine.
Right.
So yeah, that might be that's definitely a list chicken situation. because
Absolutely.
Then Madrak 2 into the Thagrosh is going to be a strong build as well.
So we think the Finns would ultimately, of the 5, probably like for Henry, their Menoth player, to be the one matched up against Ben, the Legion player.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. I suppose Miko himself, the troll player, Madrak 2 EE, that is a bit of a skew, a bit of a
Sure. He's got the double borders on the one side.
yeah, and
then,
and all the lights on the other.
Yep.
Yeah. Who looking over the Aussies' potential answers, we do have Trent with Crix, as we discussed. Scar potentially pretty good into that matchup, but maybe not great, as you said. EE is decent versus that Crix matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what people say.
Yeah. The other thing is maybe Big Mac, Chromac 2. That pair, Chromac 2, Kruger 2, obviously probably wouldn't drop Kruger 2 in that situation. Well, probably not, but Chromac 2 may not be bad into the troll matchups. New enough, I'm not sure. But
Kruger 2 would be fine in that matchup too, given that the list relies heavily on a shooting presence. It's a very low range shooting presence. All of those guns are range 8.
yeah.
You take 5 off of those range with storm walls. And now, like with
That's a good
you're
point.
turning the
That's a
list
very
into
good
a
point.
melee list.
That's a
And,
very good point.
I mean,
and troll lights are not the best melee.
it's not
Yes.
it's not the worst melee list.
No,
but it's
of course
also
not. No.
not the focus of the list. And
No,
I think that's
yeah.
definitely So actually James I think would probably be a pretty decent counter
Okay.
to at least EE. That the problem is can Madrak play into both Kruger and Chromac?
And Chromac, yeah.
I believe so.
I think Madrak can certainly play into Kruger.
Yes.
There's no doubt. Chromac is potentially he's so new, it's hard to know. Exactly.
Yeah, I actually don't know enough
Yeah.
about the Chromac 2 matchup
Yeah.
to be able to say. I know that is that the Madrak list that had that's not the one that had Pendrick in it.
No, this is the Madrak list. That's
It's just double warders, Mulg,
Fen blades, and then like
2 Kithkars and support and stuff like that. So,
exactly. Yeah.
I was thinking of a different Madrak. So
Yeah,
I mean,
we-
if you take
yeah.
if you take a Madrak list that has like a Pendrick in it or something like that, then that would be a great
a better
matchup versus Circle.
for Circle, yeah, or against Circle.
I still think it'd probably be fine. It's a playable matchup, so it might not be what they want, given that. I don't know. It depends on how he feels. If he feels supremely confident with his Kruger 2, and I could speak from experience. Kruger 2 is a problem for all trollcasters,
Right.
pretty much. So
Sure.
Madrak 2
Sure.
is, even if it's playable, it's not going to be probably what he's really looking for. So
Fair.
I think they're going to try and get the Madrak player into probably either the Signar or I think they're going to try and get Miko into either the Signar, the Crix, or the Retribution,
Absolutely, yeah.
or the
potentially
Legion, I
the
guess.
Legion matchup.
So
yeah.
I mean, maybe
Yeah.
the Troll player is actually the strong
Maybe they're strong foot forward.
foot forward here.
we'll have to see if.
If they come to the same conclusion that we
Yeah,
do.
yeah, absolutely. What are you most excited aside from Madrek 2? What are you the most excited about seeing played again out of these lists?
Actually, I would like to see a Big Mac game.
I would like to see Big Mac too.
I would like to see that. I would
I'm
like
not.
to try and get
I
some-
would kind of like to see Big. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would kind of like to see Big Mac on Butcher 3. Just like
see who's
Yeah.
the bigger, badder.
who is the biggest beast
Yeah.
mode? Yeah,
Which one of them is the baddest dude?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay, I would like to see that too,
Yeah.
actually. But
yeah.
it might not be in the
I
cards.
sincerely doubt it's in the cards.
Might
yeah,
not
yeah.
be in the cards.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Just looking down through this pairing here too. I know that Trent generally feels pretty strong in Crix versus Crix mirror matchup, so that might be something that they try and engineer
Sure.
to happen.
Be Denny
given
1
that
or
would be
Scar versus Lich 2 and Denny 1.
right,
so,
right. I don't know what he would choose there. My guess is Denny 1.
Yeah, yeah.
We're getting reports that they're actually ready to go ahead with the list selection process. So, or the matchup pairing process rather.
Mm-hmm.
So we can go ahead and move over to the table as soon as they're ready.
Yeah.
I already hear a Wombat in the distance.
Yep. Yep. A rogue wombat moving through the forest. All right, so
All
here's
right,
the
here we
roll.
go with the dice roll.
All right, so Australia
Australia
wins the roll.
wins. That's going to be a very big advantage to them. They get to choose the last two matchups
Indeed.
of the round. That's a very big advantage.
Yeah.
So let's see if they go ahead and put their Madrak forward, or
Yeah,
their
we
their
speculated-
troll player forward.
Yeah, we speculated Miko would be their opening
And-
play, and it is not.
We were wrong, so they got Kador.
It's Tattoo with Kador. This is the Butcher 3 player that we saw assassinate Assyria in the last round.
And there's a little bit of cheering that Australia won the roll.
Yeah. So Butcher 3, Butcher 2 tier. Who do we think Aussies are going to put up? I'm going to guess Joshua with the Haley lists, and maybe Aaron with the
Yeah, we saw them
lists.
put the Retribution into Butcher 3 or
Butcher
into Kador before with
yeah.
nearly as similar.
Yeah. So I'm going to guess Aaron and Joshua are going to be the two they put down, unless they're holding one of them specifically in hopes of a different matchup. Joshua and Trent.
Joshua and Trent.
So it is Signar and Crix that they have offered forward into Tattoo with his Kador lists. Now, if you are Finland right now, I think you probably take the Butcher 2 match into plan on taking your Butcher 2 tier match into Crix and leave the Signar player out. And I'm apparently wrong.
Yeah,
okay.
they've gone ahead and they've
They have
chosen
picked,
Signar.
so it'll be Joshua versus Tattoo, Signar versus classic Signar versus Kador match. Butchers and Haleys.
Well, there's a Butcher 4 Jack list, right, you said?
It's a Butcher 4 Jack
so
list.
that might be difficult for the Signar player.
Absolutely.
All
right,
that
so now
leaves,
that leaves Trent.
Yep.
Trent on the table for the finish to consider. I think we'll see their Signar player, Yako.
Yeah. Yep.
And then
maybe the troll player.
maybe the troll player.
Maybe yeah.
Maybe any of the other three could be possible.
Right.
Depends on their confidence in.
This is one that comes down to specifically the player confidence.
Exactly.
So they might be conferring with the players right now, specifically to find out which of them are more confident going into the Crix matchup, and then that's the one that they're going to select. So I think any of those four players actually
have a chance of
just by the matchup, just by the list matchups, could
So it is Yako, their Signar player, and then they chose their Crix player, Polly.
I would expect
I'm going to expect Trent to pick
pick the
Crix on
Crix.
Crix.
Yeah.
Yep, I believe that's what's going to happen.
But they might again. This is the kind of thing where you want to confer with your team, and make sure that that there's a plan all the way down the road for these matchups. You know, if they're going to leave this Signar player on the table and they have no good answers between two list pairings for that Signar player, then they might want to just throw it to Trent if he's more confident against it himself. So this is going to be definitely something that they're going to confer about. So we await their decision. Yeah, again, since it's very colossal heavy Signar as well, the Crix might not be as terribly as bad of a matchup as you conventionally suspect.
True, very true. Yeah, Scar into the colossal heavy list is not necessarily a terrible thing, I don't think, for Crix.
Or Denagra.
Yeah, true.
I can actually hear them right now a little bit. I can't make out quite what they're saying, but I can tell that they're going down the line, figuring out all of the rest of their matchups. So yeah, that's why they're taking so much time.
Yeah,
they're really
absolutely.
figuring out
how the rest of this plays out.
What we leave on the table and how we're going to counter that, and then how that's going to go down. Because they get to pick the last two matchups, so it's very important for them to make sure that they have the right players left for those two matchups.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
that's why they're taking so long for this decision. Finnegan, I guarantee you, they can absolutely turn up the obnoxious level. You never underestimate Trent.
If you guys didn't get the pleasure of seeing Trent stand in front of us and woot. You just heard it. It's obnoxious.
Yeah. Oh, that's something to note too. You remember the last time we saw Wombat play? They were very, very quick with.
But it was our first round of the day, and they knew coming in what their matchups were going to be.
You're right.
This time they have had only about the hour over lunch to
really consider it.
Yeah.
To consider it.
Yeah, and all they did was pound Fosters.
During lunch, do we have confirmation of that?
I believe so. I believe we have confirmation.
We have actual confirmation. All they drank for lunch was just Fosters.
Yeah.
And 8 bloomin' onions.
Wow. Truly Australian, these mates.
Oi, oi, oi.
So yeah, just must be really discussing all the permutations, all the variability here on what they think happens. So it looks like they're pairing Trent with Yako, the Signar player.
Mm-hmm.
So we have there we go. That's a little. So we have Paulie on the table here. Lich 2 Denny 1 player.
This should be noted too. In terms of personality, these two teams are polar opposites.
Polar opposites, absolutely.
The Finnish do not
very
engage in
reserved.
small talk.
Do not
very
engage.
reserved. The Australian could not be more boisterous.
Yeah.
So it's very funny to watch them.
They are loud and abrasive, even to us Americans.
Very. So I'm sorry. We are left with.
We're left with Polly here,
Polly.
Crix player, and the options are Circle, Legion, or Retribution. I suspect Retribution is going to be one of the lists put forward here. The other two, I'm not so sure. So I think we're going to see Aaron, and then perhaps Ben.
So since Australia gets to choose the final two, they might want to just choose. They might want to choose the player here that they do not want Australia to pair up.
Right.
So, for instance, if they want to avoid getting a Fiora 2 into a Lilith 2 situation,
Very true.
they might want to just try and get her out right now.
Right.
Or I'm sorry,
Hold her back.
Yeah,
so
hold her back.
So they get to decide where she goes. In this case, they have they have put out Aaron and James. So it'll be Retribution and Circle.
so that they can guarantee. Or I'm saying, they might want to, so that they can
guarantee that Lilith goes where they want it to go.
right,
Yeah.
not into,
Not into Fiora, right. Or not into Miko, whatever the case may be. What do you think the Finns are going to pick here? Do you think they're going to pick Polly into Circle or into Retribution?
I mean, they could drop. They actually. I was wrong. I got everything backward. They could drop the Legion as well, just to try and get the Legion. I mean, because it's going to be whatever they pick, it's going to go into the Crix.
Right.
So they might actually want to drop the Legion, and if they think that they might pick the Legion.
Yeah.
By mistake, I guess, or I don't know. I'm not sure. Basically, is there anything that they want to absolutely avoid the Crix?
It looks like they've picked Circle, so it'll be James into Polly, which leaves Ben and Aaron, and Henry and Miko. So I'm going to guess that we see Aaron into Henry, Retribution into Minoth, and then Ben into Miko, which may portend a Thagrush 2 into Madrak match.
Right. Or Thagrush 2 into EE is
probably,
I think that might be
better
fine.
for Trolls?
I don't know. Certainly a very involved matchup selection for the finals.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
You would expect, I think. No really blowout matchups that I can think of, unless I'm forgetting something. But
that we have experienced over the course of the stream, you mean?
I'm sorry.
Are you talking about this for this specific match, or over the course of the stream? No
For this specific.
Okay. Raven into Minoth is probably the strongest.
Sure. Fiora 2 the existence of Fiora 2 as a little bit makes that a little bit less than
Sure.
you would expect. She's
Sure.
one of the harder to
Yeah, absolutely.
kill casters with a native defense or a native armor 17.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, you're certainly right. I guess Retribution into Menoth is
It's probably the most
likely what we're going
the
to
most
see.
skewed matchup of the pairing here. All right, so it will be. This is surprising. They're playing Retribution into Trolls, and they are playing Legion into Menoth. So they eschew the traditional wisdom of Retribution into Menoth.
All right, and also playing Lilith 2 into a potential fire immune matchup. I wonder if there's something else that's maybe skewing him away from thinking she's going to pick that.
Yeah, unless his plan is just to play Thagrosh 2. Maybe Lilith 2 is not his. This is surprising. I'm quite surprised. By
I'm a
this
little
choice.
surprised,
Yeah. Okay, so we just heard Trent say that he believes the Fiora list to be straight anti-ret tech.
Ret Tech.
Ret tech. It's Trent, so no idea if he's
Being sarcastic
being
or not.
serious
Yeah.
or not. You literally can't tell. He always talks with the same tone of voice.
That's true.
It's a high-pitched wooing sort of tone. So
Yeah.
yeah, but at any rate, perhaps that's the reason that they didn't choose to go Retribution. into-
Certainly, I mean, they took a lot of time to discuss all of these matchups.
They certainly did. Yeah.
So certainly, I mean, I'm guessing that they were asking Ben down here,
If he feels he can
do
play
you
into
feel
Fiora
it? Yeah,
too.
like look at these two Menoth lists. Do you feel that you can play one or either of your lists into these lists? How do you feel about
Yeah.
this matchup? And he must have,
And we've seen his Thagrosh list. It's very, it's not shooting heavy at all. Like it's very melee oriented. So it may have been a question of can the Thagrosh list play into Harvey if that's the.
it has
comes
two
down to.
Scythians.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. So
that's going to take martyrdom off the table, which is
Absolutely.
one of Harvey's best strengths.
Absolutely.
And then it's basically whether or not he feels that he can play that into the Fiora 2 list. Do we have what's in that Fiora 2 list? Do we get? eyes
Yeah,
on
I
that?
can pull it up here.
Yeah, please do. I'm curious. The kinds of Fiora lists that I usually see are more Jack focused, but
This is a
not
Jack,
the
this
style.
is a Jack focused list. Well, ish. It's Adjudicator, a Templar, and the Avatar. 2 min units of Choir, Zealots, Racks, and then 2 Mechanics and 2 Vassals.
Okay, yeah, so that's
So
pretty,
very kind of standard
Right.
Fiora
and
Adjudicator
my
list.
guess is the Adjudicator is bonded to try and get
The Adjudicator is bonded,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, with a fuel cache objective.
So I don't know. I don't know if I see him dropping that list. Although it just highly depends on
Yeah,
whether or not he's afraid of Lilith 2 or not. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because Lilith 2 certainly, if he does drop Harbinger, then she can just die.
Oh yeah, yeah. So Lilith 2 may exist to scare him into Fiora 2, and he may want Thagrosh 2 versus Fiora 2 there.
And then maybe there will be some more list chicken layers.
There could
here
be.
That we
There
can
certainly could be.
Pick. Yeah.
Okay, so let's just run down the pairings here and see what we think. So the first one was Tattoo with his Kador Butcher 3 4 Jack list and Butcher 2 tier. into Josh with his Signar Haley 2, Thorn Spell Singing Haley 2,
Yeah.
and Haley 3.
Yeah, and something that I didn't consider when we were talking about this earlier is that Haley 2 has domination. They both have domination, actually, but
She does, but he is running 2 character jacks in Ruin and Beast of Night.
that's true. But he's also running 2 clam jacks, which are some of the
Which
worst
are
jacks to be
quite
dominated.
they are quite susceptible to domination.
right.
That's true.
So
That is absolutely true.
yeah. So and then I mean, it's just depending on whether or not he thinks the rest of his list can control the character jacks, which I don't think should be a problem.
Right.
For
So do you think that that's enough to have Tattoo play Butcher 2 tier? The thing is, I think the Butcher 2 list is very susceptible to
Haley
to
2.
the Signar shooting.
Yes.
So
Yeah. And the Time Walk feat in a list that has minimal to no guns,
Yeah.
no ability to reach out and touch is going to be very, very, very difficult.
Yeah.
If you get 2 turns, really, like that's what that list doesn't want you to be able to have 2 turns to try and clear out all of the infantry.
Right.
Exactly. It relies on overwhelming you, and then getting to you with what's left. So
Right.
if you have no opportunity to do that by taking 2 or 3 turns of shooting
right,
before you even get the chance, and Signar doesn't have any problem killing
absolutely not.
armor 14 single wound models.
I think we're going to see Butcher 3 into Haley 2 out of that matchup.
Yeah.
Haley 3, I suppose, is a possibility.
Well, Butcher 2 is the Doom Reaver theme force, which is what we're talking about.
Right. No, I don't think that they're going to play Butcher 2 because Signar will.
Oh, you think we're going to play Butcher 3?
I think we're going to play Butcher 3 into Haley
Yes.
2. I think that's what's most likely to
Yeah.
happen. Yeah. The Haley 3 is a possibility, I suppose. She still has Dominate. I'm not sure that the Murder Ponies are very exciting in that particular matchup. I suppose Brutal on Armor 17 Warjack is not the end of the world, but
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one. I'm not sure. We'll have to see.
yeah.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
So,
So the
moving
second,
on.
Yeah, the second one here is Trent with Denny 1 and Scar 1 into Yako with the Haley 1 Stormwall Galleon and Haley 2 Stormwall. So in our last round, we had Haley 2 played into Crix.
Yeah. Do you think he was
We
going to?
believed it was a mistake at the time, and he ended up winning.
Yeah. True. True. Do you think we're going to see a repeat?
He may
clearly
be,
feels
he may be
clearly feels
emboldened,
confident.
yeah.
With his
Yeah.
82 into that Crix
Yeah.
matchup.
And particularly given that that we're not talking about a Lich 2 option here anymore, so Haley 1's feat, like shutting down Lich, or Haley 1 being able to shut down Lich's feat is not something that's on the table.
Also, the thing that Haley really hates is guns, right? And
yeah,
this is a
and
Denny 1
yeah,
gun.
yeah, exactly,
focused list,
exactly. So I think
uh,
we will see Haley 2 Stormwall. I think
But
Trent
then the
could
question
play.
is, what's Trent going to play? I think either of these lists are good choices.
Exactly. I think Trent could play either one, so I think, again, it'll be what he's most comfortable with. And based on the fact that he was in that sort of situation earlier and played Denny, I suspect we'll see Denny again.
Okay, all right. Interesting. I wouldn't be surprised to see Scar either.
I wouldn't be shocked, but I do think it'll be Haley 2 Denny. Our third matchup is James with Chromac 2 and Kruger 2, and Paulie with Lich 2 and Denny 1. I suspect Kruger 2 is going to be the drop here over Chromac into Crix.
Yeah, I don't see Chromac being dropped into Crix. Most of Chromac's tech relies on living models on the opponent's team.
Yeah.
Also, it's going to be it's a very battle group heavy list,
Yeah.
and that's typically not what you want to play against Crix's ability to just destroy battle groups, even high defense battle groups.
Absolutely.
But, I think that would skew him towards playing Kruger 2. But again, is there any kind of next level counter choice here between this pairing, or do you think that both of these Crix lists are probably equally bad? Because my assumption is Paulie is going to assume Kruger 2, and therefore is not going to play his Denny 1 guns list, and is going to choose Lich 2. And so if James feels that maybe Chromac 2 has a better chance against Lich 2, he might suspect that. I don't see that quite happening.
No.
I feel like Lich 2's existence kind of is forcing his hand into Kruger. And then the fact that Kruger is better than Chromac into Denny as well.
Right. No, I agree.
I
think Kruger 2 is pretty. Now, I believe the Denny list, again, is one of the shooting Denny lists. So the existence of Kruger and Stormwall, I think, means that we'll see Lich just sort of default played here.
Yeah, I would.
So
Not,
I think
yeah.
it will be Lich 2.
I would not be
Kruger
surprised by
2.
that either.
I'm going to give a quick shout out to the Swedish village of Kuken. Sorry if I didn't say that right. We got a group watching there.
Hey,
popped up in the chat.
guys.
So a shout out to Kuken for getting on and watching the stream. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it.
Thanks
having
for
a good
tuning
time.
in.
Yeah. All right. So our fourth matchup here is Aaron into Miko. That's Retribution into Trolls. Again, kind of surprising.
Interesting.
Very surprising choice.
His Assyria list is the one with the Dawn Guard.
Yes, I
and
believe that's
Halberdiers.
correct. I will double check this.
So
but yeah.
Dawn Guard with 2-man CRAs with he's got Iona and Holt in that list too. Is that right? Can we double check that?
We are. I'm almost positive he has Ion and Holt. No, that was the Assyria list from last round. The other Australia team.
Okay, all right.
So this Assyria list is 2 max units of Dawn Guard Invictors.
Invictors.
Yeah. 2 Chimeras, a Hyperion, and then a couple Arcanists and a House Guard thing.
Interesting. I think we might see that Assyria list.
Yeah, the Invictors seem like they're pretty good against the Trolls. The other option is Raven with
The thing that worries me
bunch of
slightly
Mage
is
Hunters.
Hyperion, if he drops Runes of War, is just walking dead against all the Slag Trolls. Unless I'm forgetting something. So, yeah, I don't know. This is a very interesting pairing. I'm just curious to see what they will do. May I see those lists a little bit closer?
Absolutely. So the Raven list, again, it's tier 3. We never actually...
No, the existence of this Raven list might actually skew him away from picking Calandra.
Because of the susceptibility of Calandra to being good.
Right. No. So, I mean, she'll be armor 16 unless he can snipe out the Creelstone, but that's not enough against the 30 Mage Hunters shooting at you with boosted attack rolls.
Yeah.
That's going to kill... Even at dice minus 6, that's going to kill Calandra. So even if she's camping, 6 or 7. So that list just by itself might scare him away from picking Calandra.
Yeah,
and then into picking Madrak. And then the question is, I guess, can that list play against Madrak? And I am not sure. Stormfall Archers are pretty good against Warders, especially if you can clear out Creelstone early on with like the sniped unit.
Yeah,
so
that's true. That's very true.
And I think we saw a Raven play against an epic Madrak earlier on. Was that this list? I forget. It was yesterday, right?
No, it was.
Or was that earlier this morning?
The games are running together enough. I think it was today.
That was earlier this morning. Yeah, that was this list.
Yeah.
Versus the Canadian.
That's right, and we were quite surprised that he chose to play that.
So we might
list.
we
might just see Raven again.
Right.
Yeah. So I think based on what we saw before, I would say he's probably going to choose Raven, and we may just see Raven Madrak 2 for the exact same reasons that happened before.
Exactly. Yeah. Because Calandra is just too scared, and then
exactly. All right, and then the final matchup, I will say hi to Perth, the Perth community. They're all watching, and that's where several of these Australia guys are from. So thanks for watching.
Fantastic.
Too. Yeah. Our final matchup is Ben and Henry. We have Lilith 2 and Thagrosh 2 into Fiora 2 and Harvey. We talked about this a little bit when we did because we were surprised.
I'm still a little baffled by this.
I am surprised by this. I think the existence of Fiora 2 means that Lilith 2 can't be dropped.
Right.
Yeah. So I think it has to be Thagrosh. So the question is just, what is Henry thinking? If he knows that Thagrosh 2 is coming down.
Lilith 2 can focus her fire so much to take down that Judicator before it gets to even do anything. And then they can just laser beam focus down a heavy a turn after that.
Well, it
doesn't really matter if you can't kill.
Judicator, Avatar, and then one other
that's
heavy.
really tough.
Yeah.
That's really tough.
I think it has to be Thagrosh 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if Thagrosh 2 can play against Fiora 2, if that's what they're expecting, then that's fine, because I think Thagrosh is actually
perfectly fine against
Harbinger.
Yeah, I would agree with
that. With two Scythians to be able to kind of have some anti-martyrdom tech. And then can we get a refresher on this Harvey list? Is this the one that had
This is the one that survived
the Zealots and the...
Yeah, it's the one that survived
the
Ron assassination run in the last round.
Yeah. So this list, if I remember correctly, is Zealots, Errants, and then I think I saw some Exemplar, some just Knights Exemplar.
So we have Exemplar, Errants, Max, Zealots Max, Knights Exemplar, Iona and Holt with Lieutenant Priest, Exemplar Aaron Seneschal, couple Exemplar Seneschals, Nasia, Covenant, Rack, Vassal, Gorman, Piper, and then a Devout for the battle group.
Yeah. So if he thinks that Thagrosh 2 can play against Harby. Now, again, this could be another. This is a very interesting list chicken scenario because if he can correctly divine that Harbinger is going to be the drop here, then Lilith 2 becomes amazing.
Right. No,
and
absolutely.
Lilith 2
absolutely.
is absolutely the more risky choice because of the existence
of Fiora.
Of Fiora 2. So I'll be very. I mean, if he chooses Lilith 2, I think that's going to take some serious balls.
Ben may just go big, go big or go home,
Exactly.
go Aussie or go home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I think that the Fiora 2 matchup is bad. It's not unwinnable.
No, absolutely not.
So that might actually be
Yeah.
the play. So we'll see, I guess.
I'm gonna guess we see Thagrosh 2 into Harby, but we'll have to see.
Mark it down.
Yeah. All
we'll
right.
see if it happens.
All right. I don't know how close we are to them being ready. Okay.
All right. I think we're pretty close to the teams being ready, so we might be able to switch over to some tables in a minute or two.
A few minutes,
we might have to stall for some time a little bit.
Sure.
But,
Do we? I mean, I'm still pretty surprised by the final two choices. As you say, like a big part of the selection matchup is getting to make those final two choices, and then they made the opposite of what I would say is very conventional wisdom.
right.
And they put Ben in this very sort of difficult place. I mean,
Well-
I'm assuming
Well,
that
they
Ben,
were proven earlier today to be able to handle the Retribution Trolls matchup, and it seems to be going quite well
that's very
for the
true.
Retribution player at
That's
the end of the
very true.
game.
That's very true.
This might be a case where just the better player has a better result.
Sure.
So we might see a little bit better result from the Madrak 2 player. Also, his list is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Looks like we're ready
Okay.
to head to the
All right.
tables, so we're just going to go ahead and head over there.
All right, so table one is our Joshua versus Tattoo, Signar versus Kador, and it's Haley 2 versus Butcher 3, right as we called it, Chad?
Yes!
Nailed it in one.
Nailed it. We were finally right.
Fantastic.
Feels good, man.
It feels so good. All right, I'm just marking this down so this will be easy to remember later. And do we think anybody has an advantage here? We think Haley too.
I think Haley has
the advantage, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So we believe this table is advantage Aussie.
We never mentioned either. The scenario this round is fire support, which is one of the more live scenarios in that you can win it in 2 turns.
Absolutely, yes.
So
yeah.
If they kill the objective and dominate in 1 turn, that
Yeah.
would be 3 points, and then if they dominate again the next turn, that would be 4th and 5th point to win it in 2.
Do we think either side is going to be more prone to playing a very aggressive scenario game here?
Well, Haley is always very good at
she
scenario.
is,
but
and
if Butcher
Butcher
can
is such an aggressive.
if
piece.
he can establish a far enough forward
Yeah.
position, then he can certainly make that play as well. Especially since you have to respect him so greatly.
Yeah.
Now Haley, definitely of all the casters in the game, Haley has the tools
one of the strongest scenario
to.
games, yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying she has the tools to punish aggressive
Oh,
play.
Sure, yeah,
So
absolutely.
that might be enough to push this well in
Absolutely.
her favor. That she has the
Absolutely.
scenario advantage, and then she also is sort of frightening to Butcher to push him away from having that scenario. Now let's. I think we're ready to move ahead to
Table two.
table 2.
Okay, so this is Aaron versus Miko, and it is Raven versus Madrak 2. So 2 for 2,
2 for
Chad.
2. 2 for
We're
2.
getting better
All
at
right,
this
all
as we
right.
go along.
I'm getting more
I
excited.
think we're going to be great tomorrow.
It's so easy when we see
Yeah.
the exact same matchup
It is.
happen twice in one day.
It is indeed. All right, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see if this
God,
plays
look at
out.
all those freaking mage hunters.
So many.
Jesus Christ.
So it'll be interesting again to see, because we discussed he did not go for like kind of sacrificing a unit of mage hunters to remove the stone in the previous game, and we had talked about the fact that we thought that that was maybe the correct play. It'll be interesting to see if he changes his mind or if he sticks with the same strategy from
Yeah,
earlier.
agreed.
So yeah, this is Aaron Raven into Miko Madrek 2. All right, we are ready for table 3. All right, so table 3 is
Yako versus Trent.
Yako versus Trent, and Yako picked Haley 2. Trent picked Scar 1 instead of Denny.
So we were half right.
We were half right. You actually said you felt like it could go either way.
I'm all the way right.
You're all the way right, Chad.
Yes.
You're all the way right by me. All right. So Trent.
Yeah,
Scar.
I think Trent could not pick a
bad choice here.
situation.
Yeah.
Scar, I mean, his Denny 1 is high shooting, and so if he's expecting Haley 2, then maybe he would not want to go with his shooting list into a
That's a very good
caster
point.
that has
That's a
deceleration.
very
That's
good
why I
point.
was kind of leaning towards Scar.
That's a very good point.
And then also the existence of Scar, and he does not have Satixis Raiders in this list, right? Oh, no, he does. They're at the top.
Yeah, I believe that this is.
So there's always the backlash,
the
which is a
backlash
threat,
out. Yep,
which
absolutely.
is a threat, too, against a list that has a Colossal.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Satixis Blood Witches, Mechanothrall Engine, Satixis Raiders, Soul Hunters, Bane Knights, Captain Darrawraith Tartarus.
So let's go ahead and move on to table 4 and see what the matchup is there.
Harbinger versus. Okay, so Ben. I think Ben.
He next leveled him.
He next leveled him here. Yeah.
He assumed that Fiora 2 would scare away Lilith 2. The existence of Fiora 2 would scare away, and
that he would prefer to play Harby into Thagrosh.
Correct.
And
so then
he dropped Lilith 2 into this matchup.
That's brilliant.
This is going to be. I feel like this is going to be a bad time for Henry. We managed to pick half of it. We picked the Harby portion of this.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we predicted that this could happen.
We did predict that this could happen. Yeah. We
our
predicted that if
our support is telling us this doesn't count.
Yeah,
so,
but
okay.
I
All right,
feel
that's
like
fair.
we
That's
predicted
fair.
that if Ben Aussied up, that he would pick Lilith too. We did actually say that. So yeah, this feels like, barring some egregious mistakes by Ben, this is probably very favorable.
I've seen Brian White play Harvey against
Lilith too?
Jake Van Meter before. And it was Lilith too. So I've actually seen. Not this exact matchup because lists, of course, have evolved over the course of years. So I have no idea. Their lists are probably nothing similar.
Sure.
But I know that the game can definitely play. Like Harvey can she can respect Lilith's threat range. This is a killbox scenario,
which makes it harder.
That makes it a lot harder.
Yeah.
But there's a wall on Harvey's side of the table that might be within the killbox.
Sure.
So she might be able to hide some a little bit back there. Also, Harvey's playing a lot of infantry that's difficult to. The Zealots can be difficult to kind of tack down, especially with the Legion force. A lot of infantry that really is going to hurt that Lilithus when it finally gets across the table, which Harvey helps with Crusader's Call. Errants are pound 9 weapon masters, but they're still weapon masters, and then Exemplars are the Knights Exemplars. They're going to hurt no matter what.
Yeah,
if they do manage to get there. Now they're very slow, so that might not happen. But I'm saying this. It's not a foregone conclusion.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very rarely in this game is anything a foregone conclusion. But this is probably, of the matchups here, this is probably the one that's most strongly skewed in somebody's favor at the start.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
All right. We'll go to the final table 5 here. So we have Kruger 2 from James versus Denny 1 from Pauly. So he did choose his Denny 1 list into Kruger instead of Lich 2. We thought that Kruger and Stormwall would scare off his Denny list. Let me double check and see. Maybe we were wrong about the composition of the Denegra list, and it's not as shooting heavy as we thought. But I think this is the one that had has Crow's Cutthroats, Nis Hunters, Devil Shadow Mutineers, and then the Scarlock engine, or the Mechanothrall engine. So we'll have to see how this works
It
out
feels disadvantaged
to the Denny player.
To Crix.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement.
So yeah, I would expect Morehouse to run away with this one, but again, there is no foregone conclusion.
Absolutely not.
So good play on either player's part can definitely change the result.
Absolutely. So we have Kruger 2 into Denny 1.
So we've done the statistics, and you have been brought down to 9%.
Feels bad, man.
Feels real bad.
Feels
In
bad,
fairness to us, we did not pick a single one of these matchups exactly wrong. So, like, we got at least half of the matchups right.
I'm going to bump that up to 10% then.
Okay, thank you.
I feel good about myself.
I feel
All right.
real good about myself.
All right, good.
Yeah.
That's all that really matters.
Welcome to the stream where the points don't matter.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
That was Clint.
Yeah, that's Clint, one of our really, he and Matthew are the geniuses behind the stream. If you guys like the stream, and it seems that most of you do, it's all thanks to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so going into this, some scrawled handwriting there. Going into this, we feel that Ben has an advantage and James has an advantage in their matchups. We also felt like Haley 2 has a slight advantage on Butcher 3. So that's 3 Aussies right there off the bat that we feel, based on matchups, have at least a slight advantage.
This is the power of being able to choose the last 2 list choices. So they really need to just win. I guess, I say that, but then only one of the 2
was
their
a last choice.
One of their good. But I mean, still, being able to kind of, even just getting one good matchup out of that last one, it's still worth it. So it shows, I guess, good strategizing from the Aussie team and the Aussie captain.
Absolutely, and also some gutsy calls.
Gutsy calls by the
some
players.
Gutsy calls by the
Yeah,
players as
absolutely.
well. Yeah.
Props to Ben Leeper for making that call.
Absolutely.
That's actually I've always, it's been my secret confession. I love the list chicken portion of this game.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I hate.
I know
the list
most
chicken.
people hate it.
I
Most people
despise
hate
it.
it. I love how cerebral it is. And if you make that call, if you can see into the head of your opponent and what they're going to pick, then you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly making that kind of call in the finals of the WTC, truly gutsy.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess here I hate doing it, but I love thinking about it and watching it happen.
Okay, fair enough.
So
fair enough.
It's just a real treat for all of us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Everyone watching.
It's great to see. It's great to see it happen. It's great to speculate and talk and be 10% right. So. Okay, we're going to head to table 2 right now. The game is developed the most. This is Aaron with Raven into Miko with Madrak 2. Oh no, Chad got more Madrak 2.
Hey, it was a real good one last time.
It was a real good one last time. There's no Butcher 3 here, though.
Well, I mean, maybe Raven can get in there on Madrak.
All right. Clint brings up an excellent point. We're talking just briefly about the effect of the errata. Everyone kind of wondered what the effect of the errata coming into this. And from an actual gameplay perspective, I'm not really sure that we have an answer even after this weekend.
No, I don't think we will.
Yeah. But from at least a mindset of the players, at least 4 of our 6 rounds, there has been a Denny 2 option, and the players have never selected it. However, I believe every round that we've streamed, Haley 2 has been played. I believe.
I think we had a Haley 3 one time, or a couple times
instead of Haley 2. Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I meant one of the on one side, at least one side, there was a Signar player that played Haley 2. Yeah.
Right, and the stream right now has 2.
2 Haley 2s being played. Yeah. Yeah. So.
I mean, that probably talks a little bit more to the strength of Haley 2 and her faction, and the strength of Denegra 2 and her faction.
Absolutely.
And the
I
other
would-
choices
I would agree.
available to the Crix faction.
Almost always the choices were Denegra 2 or Lich 2 when we saw that, and Lich 2 is selected. It's not exactly like you're...
It's not like you're handicapping yourself.
You're not
you know.
slumming it with Lich 2.
Right, exactly. Whereas Haley 2, people probably still feel, even though she's certainly not as good as she was,
Yeah.
they still feel that she's
Yeah.
the best. And again, these lists were locked in before the errata was.
Absolutely. And to clarify, we're not in any sense saying that this has affected how they actually play. This is just maybe a measure of the player's mindset about it following the nerf.
God, that is so many freaking mage hunters.
It's a lot of mage hunters.
See, if he moves the Creel Stone forward at all here, I would highly expect. If I was the retribution
were the
player, I
Retribution
would
player.
definitely snipe one of those units and then send it in.
That's what I expect to happen. I feel like
Just sacrificing one unit, and you're not even really sacrificing it. You're just kind of like baiting the other units forward.
Yeah.
But just getting rid of that +2 armor. It's gonna be such a
Trading
big-
your maybe the center unit of strike force here for the Creel Stone. I think that's an excellent trade for the Retribution player.
And the Creelstone unit is so small too, barring tough checks, of course. But if he can manage to kill it out, and still have a couple of shots remaining to take out some important support solos back there. The
Sure.
Rune Bearer is only armor 14 without the Creelstone. The Fell Callers are only armor 15 without the Creelstone.
Absolutely.
Getting rid of some of that stuff can actually be a pretty big deal too.
Absolutely.
And he is going to move it forward. And he's moving it far enough forward that the Mage Hunters can actually even snipe it without even exposing themselves too much. Too terribly.
Which maybe, he's kind of
forward.
locked in because he's
I
got to
mean-
move it for it to do its job.
I mean, you're playing against 33 models that are advanced deployed that
Yeah.
ran as far forward
Yeah.
as they could
Yeah.
because you don't have
Absolutely.
This is the kind of list that if I was playing Gristle 2, I would have mini-feeded with my Fen Blades, ran them, and then hoof-hitted them just to hope that all of the models break.
Yeah, sure.
From fear checks
Sure.
or something like that.
Sure.
But Madrak doesn't have that option, of course. So.
Yeah, I don't expect the Fin Blades to last very long in this game, and I'm hoping to see the Retribution player make the play to try and take the Creel Stone out of play.
Yeah, I guess depending on how the shots go out and how the Fen Blades survive, there's a potential too for next turn being able to do the same thing of running the Fen Blades with the mini feet and just trying to force command checks.
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely.
With 30 shots coming in, and then those shots are probably not going toward the warders, I'm guessing the Fen Blades,
Yeah.
they're not, sorry
Yeah.
Fen Blades.
Yeah.
Also, most
So-
of them are even out of the Creel Stone already.
We'll have to see. It's kind of cute that there's a hill there. The Mage Hunter Strike Force obviously doesn't need it to see to the Creel Stone, but
Sure.
yeah. So yeah, the question is, where is Snipe? It doesn't look like she's actually put it out yet.
Yeah, I don't see a token.
Yeah. I thought she might have put it out on turn one, but if she did, we can't tell. But I don't think that she has.
So that was a momentum shot from the Banshee, slamming a warder into another warder. Or was that a Fenblade into a warder? It's a little hard to tell.
So we had
A
discussed.
Fenblade into a warder.
We had discussed the last time we saw him play this list that it's a tier 3 list, and we didn't quite know what that was, so I decided to go ahead and look it up right here. The tiers, um, Mage Hunter Strike Force units and Mage Hunter Strike Force unit attachments in the army become FAU. That's the reason that he's allowed to have 3 units, correct?
3 units and 3 UAs.
Yeah. If he has 3 or more Mage Hunter Strike Force units, which he does, then he adds 1 Mage Hunter solo to the army free of cost. The model is subject to field allowance restrictions. And then Fey Knight, Scarith, Isian, and Narn, if he has both of those, then he gains +1 on his starting game roll. So those were the tier benefits of that list.
And now he's just taking shots, aiming shots even at the Fenblade unit on the bottom.
Yeah. As we sort of expected, I don't think that Finblade unit is long for the world.
No, I think they're all toast.
Yeah.
He did trigger Righteous
He
Vengeance.
did trigger
Got that
Righteous Vengeance, yeah.
A couple of misses there. It's just the sheer volume of fire. I think is not going to make these
Yeah,
misses
absolutely.
and tough checks, and But still, he failed to kill about half of the Fenblades there with the whole unit of aiming strike force. So it's quite a bit worse than expected. I'm not sure that there's going to be much of a. I'm not sure that's going to have a terrible impact on
Right.
the game, but it certainly is. It certainly helps the troll player.
It is interesting. He went for the Finblades first. That may indicate that he has no intention of going after the Krillstone.
All right. Yeah, I mean maybe maybe you just ignore the warders until you absolutely can't anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've seen people do that before. They're so slow. It's
They're slow, and they only have 1 attack apiece.
right.
Yeah. You're mesmerizing, Chad. You're mesmerizing.
Thanks, Tort. Oh, I should have said absolutely.
Absolutely. I can't remember what the other one was. So Raven has yet to activate. I think it's just been the Banshee and the lower unit, right, so far?
Yep.
Yeah.
So Raven's going, and she's switching Snipe over to the other unit of Mage Hunters. She's checking kill box right now and making sure she was in it. She was just barely out of it. Looks like it's not going to be possible to hide behind that wall.
Okay. Okay.
And still toe into the kill box.
She's put Snipe up on that middle unit of Strike Force. So perhaps he changed his mind. Maybe they are going to go for the Krillstone. We'll have to see.
So
All
while
right.
this game is kind of waiting, we're going to go and take a quick loop through the other games and see how they're going.
Sounds good. All right, we're going to head to table 3 first. This is where Trent with Scar is playing Yako with Haley 2. See, Trent has taken full advantage of that line of trenches there, bunkering down.
Gunmage is taking some shots at the Canker Worm, and quite a few of them are missing, actually, even with Deadeye.
Well, he's defense 18 in the trench, is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Kangaroo is always extremely difficult to pin down. It's a really frustrating jack.
He's
action.
high enough armor that the Gunmage's shots aren't even going to... He's like
Aren't gonna
armor
do too
16,
much.
I
Yeah.
think. So.
Yeah.
And the other annoying thing about the Canker Worm is you basically have to kill it before anything is disabled.
Right,
so
exactly.
These These shots, I mean, while it's nice to get damage anywhere that you can, they're not going to. They're not really going to affect the output of that jack.
It's somewhat surprising that he's choosing to shoot at Cankerworm instead of into
the Bane Thralls.
The Bane Thralls down here.
You might not want to be charging up. I don't know.
The Necrosurgeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Necrosurgeon doesn't pick up the Bane Thralls.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't know why he's not shooting the Bane Thralls either.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go check out Table 4.
Yep.
This is Ben with Lilith 2 versus Henry with Harbinger. So it looks like Harbinger is unpacked and tucked herself behind that wall. Camping, is that full? For 9. Camping 9. Yeah, it does not appear that she's feeded.
She has different.
Oh, that's right. The
white
white tokens.
paper.
Yeah,
that
so
might be a feat.
It's possible.
She doesn't have any upkeep spells.
That's a good point.
So,
So
well, Fear of God, but she's not gonna.
Yeah. No, she's not putting Fear of God on herself.
So that could also be. It's probably not the Devout thing. The only spell that can even get on her is Pincushion, and I don't think that Lilith is gonna attempt that. We are going to go ahead and find out what that token represents. It might be her feet.
Yeah.
We'll see, I guess, now after he moves. So he's moving a model right now, and it doesn't look like...
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're concerned at all about the feet.
Yeah.
So I'm going to guess no feet here. Okay,
Yep,
so she has been spell buried by the Devout.
There's no reason not to try to protect yourself from that
that's-
Pincushion, just on the off chance she wants to go for some high dice rolls.
That's undoubtedly where that one focus went.
Absolutely.
She's camping 9, so yeah.
I said it again.
Yeah. All right, we're going to check in at Table 5 now. This is James with Kruger 2 versus Polly with Denny. Denny 1, obviously. So it looks like all we've really missed here is a bit of unpacking.
Does he have anything that can really seriously threaten Kruger
Let's double check the
on
list.
this list? Crow's Cutthroats are range 10.
They're range 10.
So range
sadly.
5 with...
Yeah, Yeah, I think his longest range is the Nis Hunters, who will be range 7.
Yeah. Stormwall is a good spell.
It's a quite good spell.
There's your John Madden commentary.
I need that teleprompter. Or, no, telestrator. That's what we really need.
You just want to draw dicks every
I want to draw ticks quite badly.
I know you, Josh.
All right, I'm trying to check out this Denegreless Sea. She does have 2 Arc Nodes relevant, both a Death Ripper and a Night Wretch. But yeah, as far as shooting is concerned, I suppose the Wither Shadow Combine is at 10 inches on their Darkfires. So
Which won't be affected.
By Stormwall.
But that's
correct.
not going to be very threatening.
No.
Unless he can build up some souls on them somehow.
Poor Devil Shadow's Mutineers, who already have a really short 8-inch. So they're down to 3 inches on their guns.
I just talked with the producers, and this is a dickless cast, so not going to happen.
Okay, fair enough.
Did that go live? Well,
Tragic.
Sorry, guys. You can write your complaints to Clint and Mayhew.
Yeah.
Let them know.
Let them know.
Let them know how you feel about this outrage.
Let them know to get me a telestrator.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I assume that this is going to be a bit of a tank moment for Denegro while he's kind of figuring out how to approach this.
Yeah. Well, it's just, I mean, he doesn't really have a lot of options. He's just going to, it's really surprising to me that he picked the Denny list into this. Just the existence of Stormwall means he's going to have to take these units. Aside from the Nis, like the Crows are much worse in melee. The Nis are fine in melee, but you'd rather be shooting with them usually. Yeah, it's just, we'll have to see, I guess.
Oh, God, I love the chat. All right, we're going to head over to table 1 then while this is kind of stalling out.
Okay, we're going to go back to table 1. This
So-
is Josh with Haley 2 and Tattoo with Butcher 3.
Looks like we have a TK happening right now.
It does appear that there's a TK happening. I initially thought the chat earlier was being mean, calling or saying that they didn't know who Josh was and continuing to call him Gigantor, but apparently that really is his name, as we can see.
That's, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how he introduces himself.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, have you met him?
I haven't.
He's gigantic.
He's no Torbjorn.
He's, well, yeah. Few are.
Yeah. All right, so I was the TK on Beast 09
Beast
there?
09.
Okay.
So we see Haley really exercising her control.
Her army is very far up the table already. Clint is telling us that he believes the proxy base to be Thorn, and that makes yeah. It is
Is that
confirmed.
Thorn attacking the Butcher then? Or he's just TK'd Butcher. Very curious. What could
Is
be
he going
trying?
for an assassination?
Maybe. There are Tempest Blazers down there. If he's not camping very much,
Yeah.
then maybe he
Oh, yeah.
could. And then with a feat turn, you're kind of retaliated, or
Yeah.
you're kind of protected against retaliation.
Yeah. A Butcher may not be camping anything. Maybe he assigned focus to run and an Energizer to get his jacks up the field. I don't see any focus on the table anywhere, so...
Yeah, if the Butcher's not camping anything, then he could be in danger.
Very true. Very true. We may be about to see Butcher 3 get a little taste of his own.
Now he's going to have to do something to disengage Thorn here, which is, I mean, that's going to be very easy.
Well, reaction drive.
Reaction drive for one.
Yeah.
He could always TK Thorn back if he has already used reaction drive to get into the
Also
position that
true.
he's in right now.
Also true. It appears he's TK'd twice. Looks like he's TK'd Butcher and he's TK'd Beast. Curious why he would TK Beast. Yeah, so it looks like reaction drive or maybe TK. Because reaction drive is 3 inches, correct?
Yep, it's 3. What is this unit interspersed between the Tempest Blazers? I'm having a hard time making it out.
Oh, they're press gangers. I believe this is the list that has 2 units of press gangers to jam. Yeah, they definitely appear to be
Interesting.
press gangers. I will double check to make sure I'm right about that, but yes, this list has 2 units of press gangers, which helps explain why the infantry is so far up the table since they AD'd.
They advanced to play.
Yeah.
That's correct.
It looks like Haley has feated as well. There is a feat token by
Yeah,
her.
that's not surprising.
Yeah.
I think it looks like maybe he was trying to get the press gangers onto Butcher, and he just didn't.
Maybe. He may not have activated anything else yet. It may just have been Thorn to this point. We'll have to see. I'm assuming he has some stuff in the chamber here, because otherwise why waste the focus on the TK?
Yeah.
Okay, so he is charging with press gangers, it appears. I don't know if that means the Tempest Blazers have already gone, since I would think that he would take his shots before charging.
Yeah.
I'm trying to locate Hawk, because obviously she's important to the press gangers, dealing enough damage to Butcher.
And it looks like that press ganger failed his charge, maybe.
So Hawk, I think, is all like the where he just touched when it was back by the wall when he asked about Abomination and Terror. Obviously, Hawk is the reason why they wouldn't have to take that test. But if she's way back there at the wall, then this is
They're not going to be weapon masters.
there will be weapon masters. So this charge is. And you said you thought he failed the charge. That was
It did. Yeah, it looked like he put the model halfway across the
the base there.
the
Yeah.
base there. So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe there's just no room to get it in. I wonder if that's where the rest of his focus went to, is just dominating that warjack to open it up, that clamjack.
Yeah, that could be.
So he just did 3 damage to the butcher, I think. Is that right?
Okay.
It might have been the dog instead. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he just.
Yeah, I think because it's
He
a
charged the
small
dog.
dial,
He
so I
charged
think he
the
did
dog.
charge the dog. So maybe the butcher's still not engaged, so he still has shots to take with his blazers.
blazers.
Yeah. Maybe just getting the press gangers out of the way to position them to have line of sight.
So they're just tidying up a little bit.
Now, another thing that could make, I think that's Anastasia Debray in front of Gorman, in which case she's probably in walk and espionage range. So that could also explain some of the decision-making process here. There's Iris. All right, so if he did have a focus or two on him, we can see the butcher dial there.
Yep.
All right, so
19
butcher
left.
is on 19. Iris did that sweet point.
First blood.
First blood.
Well, maybe. Kind of. First wound.
Yeah.
First scratch. I don't know. Here we go with the Tempest Blazers.
Yep.
Okay,
He's trying to position.
Being careful.
Obviously, Butcher being a medium base helps, but there is the dog and Thorn there that can both block line of sight. So I'm not sure he'll get more than the 3 shots.
no, I think he can draw line of sight through that little corridor between the.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah.
The small base models won't block line of sight.
No, they won't. Yeah.
So that one in the back is going to be questionable.
Yeah. Just because it's his own friendly
But
model.
the front 4 are definitely. Oh, yeah, and he's trying to reposition so that.
I don't think he's going to be able to see Butcher, but maybe.
Yeah, so he went ahead and accidentally blocked line of sight from one of them.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
the
it was
rest of
going to
the
be
4 are
very
gonna be in.
difficult to
Yeah.
position to get all 5, but yeah. All right, so these will be brutal. They'll be off 8.
Yep, and he does nothing with the first. 2 points with
2
the second.
points. Okay.
Down to 17. 2 shots left.
4 more
4
points.
more.
So down to 13.
And he needed 5s to hit, so that was a miss.
Okay.
So Butcher taking a little bit of damage there. But he's going to be I would say, slightly protected against counterattack with Haley's feat here. He might be able to just try again next turn.
Yeah. Well, and we also don't know. Anastasia still has an activation. If that is Anastasia there, but
Where?
You see where Gorman is, right underneath his hand. That model that he's measuring to, basically measuring from right now, basically on 13. I'm pretty sure that's Anastasia.
Oh,
Right?
oh yeah, that makes a difference.
Yeah. So the TK on, we didn't get to see he was resolving the TK on Beast. We were speculating on why that might have happened. I think it's a matter of maybe clearing space out around the wall in the building to move Butcher out. I'm guessing is where that TK came from.
Yeah. Also, just turning Beast around so that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a clever use of the base marker. I haven't seen people use that. It's usually just for painting arcs, I think, but to mark where the model was.
So they've determined that there is line of sight.
The question is what that model is.
Yeah, I don't know. One of the Black 13th, maybe? Or a
Could
Gun
be,
Mage?
or maybe just gun mages.
Looks too big to be the Black 13th. Doesn't look like the profile of one of them.
Yeah. They're such tiny models. Certainly seems like it's probably gun mages. No, they must be the Black
It is the
13th.
Black
There are
13th.
no gun mages in here. Yep.
So outside of brutal damage shots with all of them,
Yep.
they were too far away. He managed to do a point with a snipe shot, rolling a 9,
So I believe Butcher is on 12 now.
and then does nothing with his third shot. And he does not get the fourth shot from Ryan because he used that to brutal damage and it was short.
Exactly. So Gorman running, preparing
Gorman-
for
yeah,
Anastasia.
For Anastasia,
Yep.
yep.
So checking range. Make sure she's within 12.
Yeah, and there's the espionage. Massive.
Yeah. So she'll catch Iris, Gorman, the Press Gangers, the Tempest Blazers, and the Black 13th.
Yep, so and then she is espionaging herself back out,
Yep.
infuriating.
Yep. Classic.
Oh.
Classic Anastasia.
Thorn is walking out.
Oh, yeah, Thorn, of course. I forgot
Yep.
he was,
And
he
then
was there.
Gorman's going to go in for the black oil now.
Absolutely.
And that's another reason for the TK is to consolidate, to
Oh,
maximize
absolutely.
the number of targets that get
Yeah.
hit by the black
Yeah.
oil.
Of course, Black Oil not quite as...
I mean,
if he fails the assassination,
Yeah.
Black Oil not quite as great, but the debuff will help. And every focus it costs Butcher to...
Yep, so he's throwing a blind bomb at Beast right now, I think. Not very hard to hit a Beast on 9 in the back, so
Yep,
yeah, it's that's
exactly.
done.
Yep.
So that's Beast, Ruin, and Butcher blind. I
blinded.
assume that Ruin is the
The orange,
the orange
base,
proxy base.
Since the other two or the other 3 jacks are all on the table. I think that's a good assumption.
So I mean, if that's going to force him to now spend focus
Right.
if he wants to do anything with with any of those blinded models,
Right.
due to the way that the blind interacts with Haley's feet.
Absolutely. Assuming, of course, that he lives. Moving Thorn out of the way will also open up a little more lanes for line of sight here for the secondary attacks.
God, it's infuriating. Didn't get my first shot. Might as well just activate my entire army again.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Round 2.
Yeah.
Round 2 in round 1.
Right.
So, 3 brutal damage shots from the Black 13th coming now.
Yep. That's
Wow, that was a
that's
very good
spike.
damage roll.
Okay, so Butcher is down to 2. Butcher is down to 2.
Rolling a 17.
Yeah. Okay,
So
Butcher's
he's
down to 3.
with
Correction,
with
3.
With 6 more brutal damage shots, I have to assume
Yeah,
this is
yeah, I believe
gonna
this
be
is
game
over. And that's game.
And that's it.
That's game.
Butcher gets killed.
Yeah. So Haley, Josh with Haley 2 defeats Tattoo with Butcher, and the Aussies are up quick 1-0. All right. We're going to go back to table 2 for Aaron and Raven versus Miko and Madrak. Okay, so there's apparently a discussion going on about how Iris 3 and Grim Salvation will interact with each other.
I see. So if Iris shoots him and then he Grim Salvations, will his focus or will his fury go away?
Right, exactly.
So it's actually very easy because Grim Salvation says that only the effects that trigger from damage are avoided.
And Iris triggers on hit.
I assume Iris triggers on hit.
We'll
I don't
double
know.
check. We'll go
yeah,
to that.
I know that Iris 2 triggers on hit. I don't know if Iris 3 works differently. I doubt it.
I will check it right now.
We'll have to see if the judges come to that same conclusion.
Arcane Hemorrhage is on hit. When this model hits another model with an attack, the model loses the focus and fury points on it, and upkeep spells it cast immediately expire.
Right. So, yeah, and I'm 99% sure that the wording on Grim Salvation is this model ignores all effects from, or all effects triggered by damaging. the
I
model.
trust, but I'm going to verify.
Yeah, well, prepare.
When this model would be damaged by an enemy melee or ranged attack, it does not suffer the damage and effects triggered by taking damage from the attack.
Right, the thing that I said.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it appears she shall still be able to hemorrhage him.
I don't think that kills him because he's going to rely mostly on his armor to survive and not his transfers, but it's certainly annoying.
Not being
I
able
would
to-
actually
yeah.
much rather.
I mean, there's nothing else in the game that.
I would
other-
actually much
other than
rather you
Grievous, I
shoot
suppose,
Madrak than the Creelstone with Iris.
Yeah. Yeah.
That really
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
But no, it's harder to draw line of sight because
Absolutely,
Iris, the unit with Iris doesn't have
Doesn't have the
Mage Sight
the,
or whatever
the Phantom
Hunter,
Hunter. Yeah.
Phantom whatever. Yeah, that is the worst thing ever when the Creelstone gets shot by
Yeah.
Iris trees.
Yeah. Just
You're
make
like
sh- just
three
make-
turns to fill that thing up. 3 turns.
I will point out the fin blades definitely evaporated as we suspected would happen.
Looks like the Kithkar's got a little angry down there
Yeah, absolutely.
and retaliated slightly against one of those Mage Hunter units. I don't think that's gonna.
It looks like the Krillstone has been largely untouched, so again, it doesn't appear that he really went for that play. It does seem, I'm trying to count number of warders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7, 8, 9, 10.
I think there may be 1 to 2 warders dead.
I count 10.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
I see 2 dials, 2 damage dials, so it looks like only 2 of the warders even took damage.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, so taking some shots into the stone now.
Finally getting that stone.
Yeah.
All right, makes its first tough check. Being knocked down is going to enable the rest of them to hit it very easily. And
Yeah,
then,
very
now
true.
it's just going to be a Grim Salvation, or it's going to be a self-sack to kill the rest of them. So sometimes that tough check can be kind of a curse.
Sure.
But now, I mean, he gets to keep making it over and over again.
Right.
So every additional tough check from here on out is going to be. Yep, and there's a self-sack. This is where the Chronicler can really come into super. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, after the turn with the Fen Blades dying, I would definitely put it on the Creelstone.
Yeah.
Then that tough check just means you don't go shoot me anymore.
Yeah.
He's going to self-sack the Stone Scribe the Stone Scribe Elder.
There's not a lot of need for the.
And
nope.
it's not even within 3, so the Creelstone
Okay. Okay.
gets field promoted, which means the aura goes away.
Yes. And they are taking a shot into it here.
Yeah, the Fury will stay, but every model that dies now from here on out, it's going to be losing Fury.
Yep. So he did
So it
tough
looks like-
again.
Yep, and he's got it down to 3 models left in the unit. So
Yeah.
it's 1 Stone Scribe, the Creelstone, and the Elder.
Yep. All right, we're going to check in with maybe a couple tables. So we're going to start with table 3 here. Again, this is Trent Dennison with Scar versus Yekko with Haley 2. We are on Haley 2's turn right now. Okay, so the Stormwall is sitting on 4 boxes. Scar defeated and failed to kill it, but did bring it down to 4 boxes.
Brought it down to 4 boxes with looks like 4 models.
Probably.
3 Banes and probably Tartarus, is that looks
Yeah,
like?
that's. I think that's Tartarus.
All right,
yeah.
that's fine. You know,
Yeah.
4 models to kill
Yeah,
a
no,
Colossal.
absolutely.
That's good. Yeah, all right.
Hashtag Scar things.
Well, I mean, not 4 models to not even kill your Colossal, right? It's got
Yeah.
4 whole boxes.
Yeah. All right, we're going to bounce over to table 4 real quick. Again, this is Ben with Lilith 2 versus Henry with Harbinger. Okay. Harbinger is currently on 4 health. I'm sure some of it is from martyrdom, but we're not sure how much. We're going to...
Yeah, there might have been some fire
Yeah.
rolls happening there too with Dragon's Fire, the Ravagor Animus.
Yeah, I can see that she has popped her feet. You can see token there beside the.
I'm not sure
devout
that's
one,
going to do much.
but I'm
at
not
this
sure
point.
that's going to help. Yeah,
Yeah.
I am going to assume that Lilith has probably popped her feet at this point.
Yeah.
But
This, I don't know. To me, this looks really dire for.
for our Harbinger,
Harbinger.
I would agree. Apparently, all the damage is from martyrdom. Harvey martyred to 4 into the face of Lilith. So there may not have been a Lilith 2 feat yet.
Or he feated to to attack the army as much as possible.
That's certainly possible.
You know, maybe that's what.
Certainly possible.
Yeah. I don't know. That's still a lot of shooting though. So I could.
Yeah.
It's realistically, if he rolls a lot of 3s, it's
I'm
possible.
really surprised that the Harvey player has martyred so aggressively.
Yeah, that is extremely surprising.
Yeah.
I how many Ravagors does our Lilith 2 have?
Well, on the table it only looks like 1, right?
Yeah, but there's 2 Scathers, which means that would
Yeah.
indicate that the feat has been.
I
happened.
will check real quick and see. Oh, I was looking at the wrong. Okay, Lilith 2 has feeded.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there was only one Ravagore.
She
so
only has ever had one Ravagore. Yep.
The existence
Yeah.
of 2 Scalers indicates that.
And the Ravagore has just been killed. It appears. Oh no, he's just picking it up for purposes of line of sight. I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's how the martyrdom.
Yeah,
the number of martyrdoms happen to defeat.
It's still surprising that he would be willing to.
I
martyr
think
that
it's
low.
fine.
It could just be a regular finish. Apologies, I was talking to Clint there, so ignore my statement.
Your ramblings.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna check out table 5, Kruger 2 and Denny 1. Just
We're gonna stare into the void.
and find that it stares back at us.
I cannot tell what any of those Crix models are.
I can't either.
Are those Nissaners at the top?
Well, the thing is,
I
they're-
see Crow.
They're not actually Crix models.
I
Do you?
see-
Are you
I
sure
see-
it's
I
Crow?
see Crow.
Are you sure it's
Look
Crow?
at him.
Yeah,
Right there.
I mean, I see that he looks like Crow.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah. So
And
they're
it looks
definitely
like we've got
cutthroats.
Nissaners down here. And
Yeah. So it looks like Megalith is coming forward. He may be making some sort of. This is either a scenario. Yeah. Okay. So he's going to come kill the objective here.
Do we see Kruger? Oh, he's in that
Kruger
forest.
is. Oh, I thought that was Kruger hanging out right by Megalith. Where do you?
No.
Oh yeah.
It looks like just a... I'm not sure what that is.
I was gonna say a Wolf of Ouroboros, but that's not in the list. It's got.
Getorix, or Stalker there, not Getorix, kills the objective,
Mm-hmm.
giving James Morehouse 1 control point.
It might be a Blackclad. There's 2 Blackclads in the list.
Oh, so he's measuring from Kruger right now.
Yeah.
And I think he's measuring to see if he can get to the flag, it looks like, to dominate.
Yeah.
He might be wanting to TK and charge in, and then pop his feet to...
Yeah. So the Stalker is sprinting now.
Yeah. That would be a pretty strong play, actually, because that would give him up to the 3.
Yes.
Slow down the entire enemy army, and then if he has his battle group surrounding that flag...
Would it give him 3, or is it only...
yeah, dominate for 2, skip and kill the
It
objective.
is dominate for 2? That's what I'm asking about. Okay, very good.
So
All right.
this could be a very strong scenario play if he goes forward to that flag, pushes everything away with his feet,
Right.
slows it all down.
Yeah.
It's going to limit the number of models that can come back into the flag.
Doesn't look like that's what he's...
All right, he might have been out of range
Yeah.
of getting to that.
Yeah.
But I'm
He
sure.
is still going to feed, however.
Yeah.
So he'll control the flag for 1, so he will score 2 points here.
If he charged to that model, it looked like it was maybe more than 2 inches away, but if he charged that model, he could actually still sprint.
He
into the
could
flag.
sprint, that's correct.
But
I assumed
still,
he was ported there, but...
maybe we'll turn back. Maybe we'll come back here in
he can
just a
still
minute.
sprint off of port as well, right? Yeah,
Off of
yeah.
what?
He can sprint off of being ported and then sprint away, so that works as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe he was ported there.
So regardless, I'm not sure I really want to watch
I
Kruger,
think we're about
Kruger
to watch
resolve his feet
Kruger
on
push
like 30
literally
models.
40 models away, so yeah.
So, but we might come back here in a little bit just to see how he ends at that.
Yeah.
How he ends that turn up. And
So table 2, this is again back to Aaron with Raven and Miko with Madrak 2.
Creelstone is entirely dead now.
Yep. Is that Scarith?
He must just be incredibly confident in this matchup. He must have.
Yeah, he must have played this
practiced
many
it,
times. Many times. It's not something that on paper you look at and think, yeah, I want to play this in the Trolls, but he certainly seems to be advantaged right now.
Yeah. Stormfall Archers are shooting Madrak right now.
Okay.
They can do some serious damage.
They
That's dice
absolutely
-5 brutal damage.
Yep.
Has he been knocked down or anything by the that Banshee?
All right, so there's a Grim Salvation. It doesn't look like there's a knockdown token to it next to him, so I'm going to assume no.
All right. Well, it's probably a feat turn then. Looks like they're rolling 3 dice. So.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's 1 hit that's going to go straight to damage. Dice off 5, and he has no Fury right now.
There is no Fury on Madrak.
If Raven gets...
There is a Scarith, if you're thinking about Mulg on Raven, there is a Scarith there that might be something he's thinking about trying to... yeah, apparently RS3 hemorrhaged him again.
Okay. Oh, that was earlier this turn, I think.
Yeah, this may be the same turn.
I think it's the same turn. Well, I don't know, maybe not. I think it is.
We've been away for a little while.
Yeah. If he doesn't kill Madrak now, he actually has to be kind of careful. Madrak could do the feat, thresh, gain a bunch of fury, move, spend the fury to move, surfing plan to get to Raven, which is my literally favorite thing in the game.
But he's got to actually be able to get to the models to be, or the enemy models to begin.
Yeah,
with.
I'm pretty sure he can charge this clump of models that's on the hill.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so I think this is maybe the second unit of Stormfalls. So
Madrak
damage.
takes 2.
Yeah.
So there's 9 boxes left on Madrak apparently.
Okay. So dice off 5.
4
more
more.
points. Leaves Madrak at 5.
0 damage on a warder. Yeah, he doesn't think that he has anything else that can really get on a Madrak that has that hitting power to punch through his armor. He just expressed that he thinks that he's probably lost this game at this point, the Australian player.
Yeah.
So we'll see, I guess, if the troll player can
engineer an assassination.
yeah, it's not obvious though. It's not. I don't think it's going to be easy to do that. So
yeah.
Yeah. So he's definitely considering that his assassination failed at this point. I mean, Mulg is really close to
Raven.
Raven. He could maybe trample and get there if the Fey Knight can be taken care of.
It appears Raven is dry.
Oh yeah, she's empty.
Yeah. Not that camping 3 or 4 focus usually saves you from Mulg.
From
but
Mulg, right. So we might see the warders charge in there, or even run, and then Madrak pop his feet to try and clear out a big swath of those guys, and then just give Mulg a straight charge lane to Assyria.
Yeah.
So maybe it is easy. I don't know. I just had to think about it for a second. It's all going to just put on the dice. And the thing is, he doesn't have any of the helping models right now to like pump up the mat of the warders, like the felt collar or whatever.
Yeah.
So that is going to make it a little bit more difficult. The feat definitely like has a lot of redundancy, given that all of the warders are going to be able to attack multiple targets, so they're going to get multiple chances to kill. And Mat 7 to begin with is going to be 7s to hit on those mage hunters. So I think it's going to be
So Madrak is
pretty good chance here.
Reaving. He only reaves 3. I don't know if he's going to cut. I think that's the only 3 fury on the table because Mulg is his only beast.
If he cuts, he'll be down to 2 health.
Yeah.
But he's probably not going to survive if he doesn't kill her this turn anyway.
Very true.
So
very true.
I think we're very likely to see a warder. The warders rush in and The feet get popped, and then Madrak's going to move up and try and give Mulg that range that he needs to get to.
Apparently, Mulg was knocked down. He shook
just
to
shook.
stand him
Yep.
to stand him up. So that's probably where the Banshee's gun went. The
Right,
momentum
right.
gun.
That one Fury to stand up, if he does have to end up making that trample, that can be very significant.
Could be significant. Yeah. I don't remember Raven's stats offhand. I believe she's a defense 16 model.
She's a 15, I want to say.
She's a 15-16.
Yep.
Yeah. And 16 boxes. So not the hardest
If
thing in the
Mulg gets
world.
there, it's
It's
gonna be game.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, I think he can just kind of rush in with the warders, surround as many of those guys as possible, have Madrak walk forward, pop the feet, just try and clear them all out, and then give the Mulg that space that he needs to be able to charge. Oh no, he's having Mulg go first. I think that's a big mistake. I think he could have cleared out that entire clump with the warders.
Yeah.
And I think there's certainly no reason not to try.
The other thing is if Mulg kills these models here, Madrak loses the ability to charge and surf, I think.
Right. He might be going for a Madrak ranged.
That could be.
So Mulg snacks a Mage Hunter Strike Force and gives the Feign Knight +2 strength and armor.
Yeah.
Misses his club attack and misses a bot attack on the Feign Knight. He's buying another attack. Hits the Feign Knight. POW 19 is going to be straight dice.
Only 4 points. And then misses the next attack.
Yeah, I think that was a big mistake.
Yeah.
With Mulg there. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, Madrak still has a charge lane now to the Feign Knight.
It's very precarious, I think, with Mulg there.
Yeah.
He's got a very narrow corridor to try and get around Mulg, to try and go above the warders, but below Mulg, and then hit the Feign Knight and try and get as many.
Sure. But
because you want to engage as many models as you can on the feet for the feet thresher. Otherwise, you're not actually gaining. You're not actually since you have to buy an attack and then spend the Fury afterwards to move. You're not actually gaining ground if you are only attacking one model at a time.
Okay.
With the feet, you want to feet and kill like 3 models and then move 3 inches.
Right.
So he's activating the warders now. Oh, the Banshee was wailing.
Oh, okay. So there was no something else must have knocked. Maybe
does
the
it just
Feign
do
Knight-
that? I think the Banshee just does that always. Is that?
Oh, the
right, or is
wailing.
it-
I will double check. Yep, it's always wailing. Well, within 5
Yeah,
inches
right.
of
So
model
that
enemy
warder
models.
unit cannot receive charge orders.
Charge orders.
So they're just gonna. Or is it model unit?
I believe it said model unit. Well, within 5 inches of this model, enemy models cannot give or receive orders and cannot cast spells.
Okay, so that one warder
Could not charge.
but the rest of them can.
The other two could. Yeah. Or 2 or 3, I guess. Also of note, he didn't cut with Madrak, it appears, because there is only 3 Fury on him.
Right. I think this was just a mistake.
Yeah.
I think that there was an assassination possible.
Yeah.
Here, and he either didn't see it or he's too frustrated or too tired or.
Yeah, could very well be.
That said, he's still, I think, going to do a decent amount of attrition work this game. It's just
Sure.
going to be
The problem is that he has to live.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So I mean, he's going to try and kill as many models as he can, and then probably sit on that camp. We saw that he didn't force.
He did not force Mulg full. Yeah.
all 5. So he's definitely going to be planning on the camp to save him somehow. And the feat could still do a significant amount of work here. God, it was such a good assassination play too. I forgot. I even just remembered about Warpath.
Oh yeah.
Cast Warpath,
yeah.
Warpath first, and then
Absolutely.
triggered a movement from Mulg beforehand.
Yeah.
It's painful. Still, we'll have to see how much work this feat does, assuming he's going to pop it.
Yeah. And remember, it's a lot easier to see it as you watch it than to do it.
Definitely. I mean, it super is.
Yeah,
yes.
particularly
Yes,
after playing
yes.
3 rounds today, 3 rounds yesterday. So
It is much easier to commentate than it is to
yes.
actually play.
Yeah, absolutely. Madrek is on 5 hit points. That is correct.
I think this is a slight mistake too. If he is going to pop the feat, he just activated the Kithkar first. If he is going to pop the feat, he should have activated Madrak first, just to see if the Kithkar could clear out all of the models around him
And
with the feat.
yeah.
And then he could move and make more attacks on models deeper
Sure,
in.
sure.
So that's a slight mistake as well. All right, Madrak, get in there, boy. So he's measuring his melee range right now just to see what he will get if he pops that feat. Oh, he popped the feat with Madrak first without moving him.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we're resolving the feat right now, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess maybe he's going to move Madrak around behind that clump of warders on the right.
Maybe. Okay, so did dismount Scareth there?
I think he's rolling too many dice. Oh, they're Blood Furied. I'm sorry.
Oh, so perhaps he did cut then to upkeep. I don't know what else he would have upkept besides Blood Fury, though.
Warpath if he has it cast, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
So. That was a command check that was just rolled by the Australian.
It looked like a 10.
No, it was a 7.
It was. Okay.
All right. I think we can probably go ahead and check in on Moops' game really quick. See
how the feat turn resolved.
Yeah.
All right. So this is table 5. James with Kruger 2 and Pauly with Denny 1. And yeah, it looks like everything got pushed away. I can't tell if Kruger. It doesn't look like Kruger ended up on that flag though. All right,
Okay.
so Kruger does have 2 control points, which means he did not sprint to the flag or anything.
Right. He
of
just
the-
he just controlled the
he
flag.
just
He did
controlled
not
the
dominate
flag.
it.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh. Stormwall is up, and Gorman tried to throw a blind bomb into that big clump of things with double powder rations, so he only had a range 3 on that. Otherwise, he just blinds himself, right?
Yeah.
Range 1.
Well, it depends on where it drifts to, but yeah. I guess, yeah, even then.
All right, and we just got a report from the troll game. Basically, we don't need to switch back to it, but apparently Madrak basically stayed where he was, and the Rune Bearer and the Stonescribe Elder just ran in front of him to just body block and provide a few more Grim Salvation safety attacks.
Yeah. So 3 transfers, 2 Grim Salvations should be relatively safe with what we saw left from. It depends on what Raven herself might be able to do. All right, so he did apparently shoot the Stalker off the table. Pretty impressive, actually, under Stormwall.
The double powder rations definitely helps a little bit, against pushing you a little, giving you a little bit of that range back. So that was the Wither Shadow Combine, using a couple of Dark Fires.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to head over to Table 4 really quick and just get...
This is Ben and Henry, Lilith 2 versus Harby. Harbinger is currently sitting on 8 health, and again, 4 focus. Although it appears that it is her turn. And her army has been thinned out quite a bit.
He's getting some of those Weapon Master charges onto the beasts, though, which is what we said
True.
earlier is going to
That's
be
true.
what...
The key to staying in the game.
That's a roll.
That's a heck of a roll. Holy cow.
Wow. Yeah, that beast
22
is
on the dice.
gone.
Yep.
And it goes in the pot. What was that he just killed? Was that a Nephilim or
Let me take a look at the list.
I don't think it was a Ravagore. It didn't look like a Ravagore.
It was not. I think the Ravagore either already died or it's that proxy base. One of the two. Was it Zerial? No, that's Zerial right there, in center of the screen. It was a Tariff, probably. It looked kind of squat like a Tariff. And there's 1 Tariff in the list. So I'm going to guess that it was a Tariff.
Okay. We're getting confirmation right now.
Yeah. That is Zerial in the middle there. There is a tariff. Yep. Okay. So we got confirmation that it is a tariff.
All right, Zealots are activating with Fervor. On the front two are aiming. He's just gone ahead and marked those.
Mm-hmm. I'd actually be interested in control points in this game. There may not be any scored yet, but that is one route to victory frequently against Lilith.
I wouldn't be surprised if Harbinger got one for maybe controlling
one.
the bottom flag.
Yeah, maybe one.
As pointed out in the chat, Zuriel could potentially get some sprays on Harbinger, and that might be a way of
Sure.
closing out the game, especially if you're only camping 4.
No control points scored yet. No control points scored yet. Are those War Spears? I didn't even notice this yet. This is actually a really interesting Lilith 2 list. There's not a single double of anything in this list. Succubus, Night Lurker, Zuriel, Tariff, Bolt Thrower, Ravigor, Min unit of Ogren War Spears with a Chieftain, Spawning Vessel. I guess there's double Shepherds, double Deathstalkers, so... But it's very unusual. Usually you see multiple Ravigors, multiple Bolt Throwers.
Oh, yeah, and I was wrong about that as well. You can't control the bottom flag from Harbinger's side. It's
You can
enemy
only,
flag
You can
only.
dominate
Yeah.
your
For
your
1
flag.
point, yep.
Okay, okay. All right, we're going to go over to table 3. This is Trent with Scar versus Yako with Haley 2. Interesting to note that the Stormwall is still alive. I wonder if he has a repair in that list or if it's just hanging out on 4 boxes.
And also what those 4 boxes are.
Yeah, very good question.
Well, one's got to be Cortex. I see a focus hanging out on it.
He does have a Gobber Tinker in the list.
The Tinker's just been working its ass
Yeah. That's an amazing pile of dead models. It seems the Haley player has really managed to whittle down Trent's forces here.
I wonder how much of that was on the back of the Stormwall living.
Yeah. So apparently the vast majority of those dead models came in a single turn of shooting.
Wow.
Let me take a quick look at the list just to see. So we have a full unit of gun mages. We have Black 13th. We have Iana and Holt. Min unit of Forge Guard. Journeyman Warcaster. Anastasia. Iris 2. Gorman DeWolf. Rupert Carvolo. Gobber Tinker. I was thinking maybe murder ponies or something that had died and bounced around. Apparently Mage Storm picked about 5 guys off in a single turn. So that's a pretty good Mage Storm, but...
Sure. The Storm Pods can get a decent amount.
Yeah, absolutely. When Signar shooting goes right, it can be pretty bad for Cricks.
Oh, yeah. So that's Rupert putting tough on the front unit there.
It looks like Forge Guard.
Yep.
Yeah, in fact, the whole Min unit of Forge Guard is still alive. That's all 6 there that I see, which is shocking. They never live that long.
And Haley just killing. Looked like a Necrosurgeon over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Dino is actually on the ropes.
Yeah. No, I would agree. I would absolutely
Very surprising. So does he have any way of coming back from this? Now I'm trying to think now.
Again, take a look at the list and see what he's lost and what he still has. If she did kill the Necrosurgeon over there, that's bad news, Bears.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I don't think there's going to be any way.
He did only take a single Necrosurgeon in this list, so that'll be it for Recursion. Is that not the Necrosurgeon sitting on the objective?
In the trench.
No, on the orange objective at the top of the screen.
That looks like the Blood Hag to me.
Could be.
Is there a Blood Witch and Blood Hag?
There are Blood Witches and Blood Hag, yeah. Cankerworm, Blood Witches, Blood Hag, Mechanothralls, Scarlet Commander, and Necrosurgeon, Styxis Raiders, Soul Hunters, Bane Knights. Those are just gone. I think this is Dara Wraith down at the bottom, the only Cav model that's on the table still.
Yeah. Trent admonishing himself a little bit for playing badly, he said.
Yeah. He must have
it is
clumped a large number of models up.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it never feels good when that many.
No, and I mean the other thing is this is such a long grind.
I think it's just
playing through the WTC. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
I think it's just to the point where he's down to few enough options that, and he has no really. The problem. One of the problems with going to the super late game with Scar against these shooting heavy lists is that she doesn't have that many options for like really getting a game.
Scar's usually Scar's late game is when
like
her Necrosurgeon engines are kicking in.
Right.
So she trades off all of her army, and her Necrosurgeon engines kick in, and Dark Guidance takes over, and they can kill whatever remains of your army. But without the Necrosurgeon here, it's just not an option.
And she has to stay so far back because there's still so much shooting presence left on the table that something like a sack strike is not going to be on the table, unless she wants to risk dying.
Much like the last round with Aussies, the failure to kill the Stormwall when you go in may turn out to be a very, very large deal. Obviously, Aaron Whale didn't lose directly because of the Stormwall, but he may have played more aggressively with his caster because of how long it took to kill the Stormwall.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
But yeah, it's to the point where there's such a model disparity between the two lists. Like even if all of the models on Trent's side of the table started doing double duty and removing twice as many models.
Right. So it's worth noting that Scar currently has 2 control points. We can see that Haley's objective has been destroyed, so that was one of it. But it doesn't really look
there's
like
really no space for him to go. He can't go down in there in the Forge Guard.
Right. No, he'll die.
And next to the Storm Wall.
Yeah.
The top.
The top is just is Haley territory. That's Haley country.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's almost to the point of no return, I would say.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if he can engineer. I think all he can hope to do is engineer an assassination run on Haley at some point. So I think he's probably got to start looking at what he needs to do to assemble that.
So sack strike would certainly be nice. And then if she leaves herself low enough that he can Hellfire her.
Sure.
Maybe just the 2 damage rolls will be enough, but the ranges are going to be the difficult thing there.
Absolutely. Because he's going to have to get pieces into range without. I mean,
he's going to have to get
making
Scar
himself.
into range.
Yeah, without making himself vulnerable to.
It's all coming from Scar.
Yeah.
So. Moving Scar close enough to Haley, and then Haley not moving away.
Yeah.
And then Scar not.
Well, he also has to have the model that he can sack strike.
That
as
too.
Well. Yeah.
That too. Well, that one can be farther away because it can run.
Right. All right, so Cankerworm probably going to do some work here. I'm expecting to see 4 dead dwarves.
Does it have 3 focus?
Oh no, he doesn't have any focus. So maybe only one with dead dwarf. Oh, spang.
Yeah, can't go into nothing.
When do Forge Guard not die? Doesn't happen.
Armor Pierce is not quite as good against small bases as it is against medium
Fair
and
enough.
large bases.
Fair enough. The dwarves do wear the thickest of armor.
Well, it's pretty thick.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
so while Trent tries to dig his way out, we're gonna take a quick run through the table, see what we got going on. Table 4 first. Again, this has been with Lilith 2 up against Henry with Harby. Okay.
Well, Ben lost a lot of stuff after the forces finally collided, but I guess the question is it enough?
Some of the question is also, what is that proxy base there in the trench? If it's still the Ravagor, which is sitting there just to his left.
Yeah, I'm guessing that is
Yeah.
the Ravagor.
Yeah. Between the Ravagor and Zuriel and the Bolt Thrower, like, Harvey is still in imminent danger.
Right. And I mean, it's yeah. So he's finally done enough damage to Harvey that martyrdom is probably not going to be able to save the remainder of these models, and
Right.
he's just finally able to start taking them down after
Right.
after taking still a surprising number of casualties after the forces came together.
Absolutely. So War of Spears here, just starting to try and clean up some of these models. Yeah, and we see a failed tough roll and no martyrdom. That may have been a zealot, though, so not exactly a super important model.
All right,
Okay.
we have a
Can we check? We can change, but can we check and see if that bit of plastic marker next to Harvey means she's on fire? She is on fire. Okay, so that's
definitely why she's
extremely
not
relevant.
martyring.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna check in on table 5.
looks like Getorix has been
James
ported
Kruger
deep
to
into the
Polly.
Crick's army.
Didn't he? Yeah.
I'm sorry, not Getorix.
Megalith.
No,
Yeah,
not
Megalith.
Getorix. There is no Getorix.
Megalith is in there pretty deep.
Yep. Is that on Denegra? It's hard to tell. I think that model with the yellow. Yep. Okay, so Megalith has been teleported onto Denegra.
Okay. The 3 there is not going to hit.
Yeah, well, that wasn't from Megalith.
Oh, you're right. It wasn't from Megalith. Okay. It looks
was-
like he's doing some other stuff after the
trying
port.
to melee a Nis Hunter down. Yeah, you might be pulling a J on us here.
Yeah. Make sure you take all those other attacks. If he could kill like 20 other Crix models before
Resolving
killing
Megalith.
Yeah. Denny's feet apparently is up.
All right, yeah, Moop's definitely just confirmed that he's going pretty much all in on an assassination here. I mean,
All in on
I
the
mean,
assassination.
with not that that's a super surprising outcome
with Megalith
Megalith
on
on
Denegra, yeah.
but
Can we figure out where Kruger... Okay, so Kruger is still back here by the forest. Quite safe, I think. I mean, we'll see where he moves him, but he's moving him now.
yeah, what can he really do to help Megalith out here?
That's-
So,
I'm not
I mean,
sure.
if he can get close enough for Kruger to use Megalith's Animus, that can be another -2 defense onto Denegra.
Sure. Yeah.
kind of canceling out the minus mat from Denegra's feet.
Right.
If Megalith gets to hit with one punch, then all the other punches get a +3 with the Megalith's weight of stone.
It's only +3. It's not +4.
+3.
Okay.
So that'd be a -5,
Yeah.
or effectively a -3 at that point.
Right. Yeah.
And you can't primal Megalith because he's a
Construct. Yeah.
Right. He could also try and go for. He could also try and go for some lightning storms.
That was what I was thinking potentially.
Although he did just cast primal on the Gorax.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a development on table 3
apparently we have
really
a development
quick.
on table 3. This is Trent with Scar versus Yako into Haley 2. Trent has conceded the game. Trent has conceded the game to Yako. So Haley 2, both Haley 2s managed to take it down.
Mm-hmm.
And Yako has tied the match for Finland 1-1.
Go back to table 4 really quick.
Yep. All right. Back to table 4. Ben with Lilith 2 into Harvey. Harbinger did confirmed. Harbinger did die to a fire damage roll.
Do we know what the roll was? So we got the developments coming hard and fast here.
So yeah. So Ben has
He rolled a 10 on fire.
rolled a
He needed a 9, rolled a 10.
10 on fire damage roll to kill
Oh.
Harvey. Ben takes it down for the Aussies and brings the score back to 2-1 Australia. All right,
Okay.
we're gonna check back in at 5 with James, where he's going for the assassination on
right.
Denny.
So if James can get this assassination, then that will
Then
clinch
Clinch the match for the
the
Australians.
match and the entire event.
Right for
the Australians.
for Australian Wombats.
So it's basically all in on this. And then we can also always go back and check in on the Ret Trolls game
yeah,
and see how
yeah.
that one's doing too. That could pretty much go at any way in this
Yeah.
game at this point.
Yeah, maybe a super quick update just to take a look at the table. All right, so you can see Madrak back there by the forest. Looks like Malgus. Oh, I think that's the game for Miko and the troll player.
Oh, yeah. It looks
Yeah,
like Mulg
yeah.
finally got on Raven.
Got on Raven and ended up killing. So Miko takes it down for Finland to tie it 2-2. So the game between James and Polly will decide the champion of WTC 2015.
Wow,
yeah.
these all just happened like
Yeah, all
One
one
and-
right after the other. So
yeah,
quickly.
all these games resolving at the same time.
All right,
So
to table 5.
here we go. So this could be for the championship.
Yeah.
I believe he's throwing Kruger right now with the Gorax.
I think you might be right. But I don't understand why, because Kruger already activated, didn't he?
Oh, did Kruger cast Megalith's Animus?
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. So I think he's maybe just trying to get that Animus up there for the -2.
Oh my goodness! This is
I
all.
love it.
This is all
I
in
love
right
it.
here.
I love it.
This
I
is
love
all in for the championship
Yes.
of WTC.
What direction did he go? He went 1 inch.
Huh.
I think he's going back to the 4.
Oh, that's gonna be bad.
I think it's still going to be within 5
Does it have to be on 5 of Megalith or 5 of Denegra?
of Denegra. Denegra has to be within 5. Models
Yeah.
within 5 inches of Kruger are going to suffer -5 defense
Right.
if he's got undergrowth up.
Right. Can we confirm that Kruger has undergrowth?
They're
on him?
doing it right now.
Okay. Oh,
That's definitely. Oh, it barely clips her, but she's definitely
barely in. So she's in. So
definitely
the throw works.
Kruger just takes 10
Kruger
damage
takes
from the
10
throw.
damage, knocked down,
Doesn't even care.
but doesn't care. This could be the most stylish way to win the WTC.
Absolutely.
Mad
100%
props to Morehouse
yes,
there. Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. What a way to win.
Oh. Oh, so he's going to get a Stalker and Megalith on him here?
Yeah, porting in.
Okay.
So Mat 5
So
versus
nines.
14, he needs 9s, and then
For
everyone
Megalith,
after
yeah.
this is going to need a 6.
Yep. Assuming he hits.
So
he
that's,
misses.
Okay, you got 2 more chances.
Yeah.
Boost the
This is
second initial.
Need a 9.
Not a 9.
Oh, he misses.
He misses. He's got 1 more chance by
He needs
boost.
Weight of Stone.
Without this hit, it's going to be
Needs a
very
9.
difficult.
He gets it.
Gets it.
He gets it.
So now she's -3. Does
Oh, do you have to deal damage to Weight of Stone?
check it?
I'm going to check.
So it was dice -6. He did not damage.
When a model is damaged by this weapon.
Oh my gosh!
He,
Wow. So
yeah.
he did not Weight of Stone her.
So, yeah. So,
So-
she is still...
So she's effectively a 14, and
And the Stalker
the
is
Stalker
a
has to roll hard 8s here. He
Yeah,
said.
hard 8s,
James said. So hard 8s here for the victory. So they're shaking hands. That was not.
That's
that
not a
was
concession.
Not an end of the game. That
yeah,
was just
but
shaking hands.
they're
saying,
recognizing that this is a pretty intense
yeah,
moment.
absolutely.
Yeah.
He just said this is a great game regardless of what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah.
So here we go. He decided that the only way to go through with this, she's got a high enough camp
Yeah.
that he's got to roll some 8s.
He's gotta roll some 8s.
for some max damage. That's a miss.
That's a miss.
Second one.
No.
Oh, miss.
Oh.
Buying an attack. Another miss. Oh, this is all falling apart here for Australia. That's it. All
That's
of
it.
the attacks missed.
I'm James.
And that's it. Game
James
over.
concedes. Paulie wins. Finland blue as our 2015 WTC champions.
Yeah, that's it. That's the end.
That was
Wow.
incredible.
What
That was
a
an
finish.
incredible finish.
Oh, that megalith is not going to get.
That made
Some-
him back. Yeah.
He's going in the garbage. I can
Oh
guarantee
my
you that.
goodness. Oh my goodness. So, yeah. Pretty.
Can you believe it?
I am pretty speechless.
Can you
actually.
believe it?
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
was. You can hear the cheering
Yeah.
in the background. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Everyone was sure that the Australians were.
Yeah, we're going to take it.
insanely
Yeah,
advantaged in this.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So congratulations to Finland. I mean, they took down some monster teams on the way to
Yeah.
get to this road.
Yeah,
they took down
they beat-
USA Stars, both Australian teams. So they just
Yep.
absolutely rolled over the entire continent
Yeah.
of Australia.
Yeah.
To make it all the way here to be the champions of the WTC 2015.
Pretty
So-
incredible.
Wow.
Pretty incredible. Congratulations,
And-
Finland.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a really incredible finish.
Yeah. Finish. Ba-boom. Chain.
Oh. Oh. So, sounds like we're going to have a brief intermission, and
Yeah.
then we're going to have an interview with the coach of the Finnish team.
The captain of the Finnish team.
Yeah, the captain, I'm sorry, the
captain of the Finnish team.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll be back in just a few moments
Just
with
a
the
few
captain
moments.
of the Finnish team after they're done celebrating over here. So yeah. Okay.
Oh, I guess we're not going
I guess
away now. So
we
were just
may
reading.
not be going to an intermission screen.
Hashtag Winland.
Yeah, I would say Finland, super dark horse. I mean, everyone has a chance,
Yeah.
obviously, and the Finnish players are certainly very good players. We've seen that
Yeah,
all day,
yeah,
but
yeah.
they were
After seeing
They
them
were-
play twice today.
Yeah, but they were not expected to win. They were not expected to be here. So
No,
yeah,
I don't think anyone saw this coming.
No.
So it's just it's I mean it's awesome. It goes to show you, I guess, the
the depth,
the depth
of
of the Warmachine
of the
field.
Warmachine field
and then
throughout the world.
you know
yeah.
maybe the metas are not quite as established or quite as set in stone as we thought that they were.
No, absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
all right, so
Okay,
we're going
okay,
to
we are legitimately going to intermission now.
Yep.
Yeah. So you will not have to look at our faces for a little bit. All right, we're back with the Finnish team captain Jaakko. Is that correct pronunciation?
right.
Okay. Apologies if I mangled your name previous to now. You just took
just
down
won the
Australian Wombat and
WTC,
won the WTC.
Yeah, I can't even believe it.
Yeah, yeah.
We had so much difficulties before the tournament, and everything was. I honestly, I didn't even believe we would be top 10.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're much better than top
Yeah.
10.
You're
number one. Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about your path through the WTC to get to the finals? Did you guys have any pretty easy matchups, or was it all 3-2 tough like today?
Yeah, actually, almost all the games were really, really tough.
Yeah.
First round was against Team United Nations. We won 3-2.
Okay.
It was 2-2, and the last game decided, and we won.
Yeah.
Then second round was Will Storm, and well, that we won 4-1.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it was a little bit better, but not. They were tough matches still.
Yeah. A little more breathing room though. Yeah.
Yeah. Then third round, the last game yesterday was Team France, was it Obelix, and
Oh, sure.
they were really good players. Actually, I was really impressed by
They're
their play.
yeah.
And well, we managed to beat them 3-2.
Yeah.
Like
Again,
you,
again.
You guessed. It
Yeah.
was, again, the last game it was 2-2, and last game decided.
Yeah.
Then this morning it was the USA Stars.
USA Stars, right? Yeah. Yeah.
So
Your last 3 rounds were USA Stars, Australia Platypus, Australia Wombat,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's a tough road to come through.
An
Yeah.
incredibly hard road.
yeah. But well, the USA Stars, that was actually, we won 4-1.
Right.
But there were a bit luck involved in a couple of games. Okay, the game we lost was luck, maybe the other side, but
Sure.
yeah, but it's
Yeah.
I think it's
It's a dice game. You can't
Yeah.
you can't avoid luck, and I think any time that you win a tournament with a lot of great players, there's always going to be a little luck that is involved sometime during
it's
the
just
day. Yeah.
all the rounds are so
yeah.
tight.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the
Yeah.
nature of the game. But we watched you guys twice today, and your guys' play was excellent. The matches were all very exciting, very intense. So a lot of assassinations we noticed.
Yeah, actually, my normal play style is I play really control game.
Okay.
For
Yeah.
first 4 games I had 5 control points, I win.
Right.
Then against Australian teams I had to take the assassinations. Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, well, uh, this last game against Trent, we had a really great game.
Yeah.
We changed shirts and everything.
We didn't actually get to. Panda Way came back, and you had removed about 75% of his army.
Yeah.
Did you have just a particularly very good turn? Did he clump too close together? How did you manage
well,
to do
it
that?
was that he got his feet turn a few models in the storm wall, and just couldn't break it. So
Yeah.
it has left something like 12 or something hitboxes. Then next turn they were all high armor, and I decided. Well, I tried to fix storm wall with Goblin Tinker because both arms were gone,
Yeah.
and I failed. So then I decided I'm not killing any Bane Knights at all, so they don't get vengeance.
Vengeance,
Right.
sure.
And then I just killed a few mechan trolls next to it, and then some statics all around. But then I had still my own feet, so they couldn't do almost anything to me. And then the next turn came, and I managed to fix storm wall, and just killed Stormwall killed it 6 to hit and kills and Electrolip kills because there was Ireland kills
Yeah.
Lilith. So and then Gunmages hit and my dwarves hit. So it basically
Just kind of everything came together.
yeah,
and
but
worked out,
it's just because the Stormwall survived and
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. Is we thought maybe the fact that he came up 4 to 6 boxes short of killing that storm
Yeah.
wall was
Yeah.
probably what decided the game.
Yeah. I think I would still have the game even if Stormwall died because I had all my infantry
Sure.
remaining, but that was the
It made a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you feel at the beginning of the matchup selection, when you guys lost the die roll to choose? Is it still? It's been a while since I've been in the WTC, but from my understanding, the way the matchup selection process works, losing the die roll and not being able to pick those last 2 matchups, you know what I mean?
It's huge.
Yeah,
It's
it makes a really
it's
big
huge in
difference.
this tournament. We actually only won 2 times the
Really,
roll in this tournament.
Really,
and lost. We won against Hordes. That's really good. But we lost the last 2.
Yeah. Against both Australian teams. Yeah.
So-
but
yeah.
then we had actually really bad matchups. We have this scoring sheet with pluses, minuses, or zeros, and in certain cases double minuses or double pluses. And we had rated all the opposing players in every team. So we were thinking it was 40% minuses in this last matchup.
Yeah.
wow.
But somehow we survived the pairing process. That actually we didn't get that bad matchup.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's of course it's a matter of opinion. What's a bad matchup? and
That's
what-
very
what's-
true.
True.
Yeah.
Actually, to that point, we were quite surprised. The Australians, when they got to decide the final 2 matchups, they put their Retribution player on Trolls and their Legion player on Menoth instead of the other way around, like we predicted.
we
were
were.
you guys surprised by
Yeah,
that as well?
we were really
Yeah,
surprised about
yeah.
that because I think there would be certain win with Retribution against.
Yeah, against
Protectorate, yeah.
Protectorate, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the
Especially with a 30 strike force list.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's the sort of the
so-
prevailing wisdom. And then we also thought the Lilith 2 playing into Fiora 2 was potentially like a bad matchup for Lilith 2. Or not a great one for her anyway. Yeah. So,
So at the beginning of that, we predicted it too. We were like, well, we think that just going off of these, it looks like there's maybe like a 30, or there's maybe 3 of these games are kind of favored for
Sure,
Australia.
Australia,
Anyway.
yeah.
It could go any way.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, just being able to do that again with having that disadvantage of not being able to go first, especially if it happened 4 times, like you said. I feel like that's even more of a testament. So
Yeah, absolutely.
it was a fantastic
Absolutely.
tournament for you guys.
Yeah. How often did you play Haley 2?
All games.
All 6 games?
All
Haley 2?
six games,
Yeah.
It was the grudge match against Sweden.
Okay.
Friday, and
Yeah.
you showed the game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's why I tested my Haley 1 list.
Sure.
And I lost.
Had you ever played the Haley 1 list with the Galleon in it?
yeah.
Okay.
Of course I have played.
Yeah.
But the Haley 2 is.
That's your jam.
That's the caster I played.
Yeah.
Almost basically whole
Yeah.
10 years of Warmachine.
How do you feel about the errata? Do you feel that she's been significantly changed?
Well, it has changed some matchups,
Yeah.
like Bradigus.
Sure.
It used to be a really good matchup. Now it's unplayable.
Okay.
And Legion is hard.
Yeah.
But then, if you play Kriegs, it basically doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
And if you play something like Cater, it doesn't matter because they don't have any tricks.
Yeah.
Circle is, well, I played Will Pagani, and it made a small difference, but it's not huge.
Not a huge difference.
Yeah.
So do you feel like obviously you played her all 6 rounds now? You still feel very confident playing Haley 2 going forward?
Yeah, I think when in normal tournament I have to think about the second list
Yeah.
somehow, or change Haley list totally, something like, because if I meet Bradicus or
Right.
Legion, I will be in trouble.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
So, but still, Haley 2 is really good in many matches.
Yeah. Yeah.
And somehow in this tournament I didn't get. I just managed to avoid all the really bad ones.
The pairing selection
Yeah.
process definitely helps with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That's one of the best things about this format, I feel like.
Yeah, it's a bit strange that I played so many games against Kriegs, and it was their opponent's choice, and
Yeah.
they put Kriegs against me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually noticed that happen kind of over the course of the 6 rounds, that Crix frequently was chosen to go into Signar matches, which
Yeah.
was very confusing. But
Yeah.
but sometimes it's more about the overall strategy of the entire 5 games.
I
right?
think
Yeah.
because in some games I had, like the first Australian team, I had all the opponents marked as plus,
Yeah.
so I could play any game.
Yeah.
So then they decided to give me what was it? I can't even remember. Sorry. Sorry.
No, you're totally
been a
fine.
long 2 days.
It's been a very long 2 days. You played a lot of games. I'm sure that you would like to celebrate with your teammates as well. But
Yeah, well, it's long night.
that's
Should we go?
true. That's
Yeah.
true. It will be a long
Yeah,
night.
we had a fun chat with the other Finnish team that we were before the tournament. We are which one is the first team and which one is the second.
Oh,
team.
sure, sure.
And then when we beat USS Stars, then the one who
They conceded that you were the
yeah,
first team.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I think you've proved that you're the first team. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. The first team in the world, actually.
Yeah.
What do you guys got planned for tonight for your celebration?
I don't know if the sauna is available. Maybe
Yeah.
there.
Oh, of course, the Finnish saunas. Yes, I've heard so much about them.
Yeah, but I don't know if it is. But
Yeah. I think Hermione.
yeah,
I think he was complaining about them closing at 9 the other night. So
but actually it was closed before 8 yesterday.
Yeah.
For
Oh,
some-
before
some-
8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for some reason I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that
Yeah.
you can't go to the sauna before 8.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully you guys join us.
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Will Pagan is definitely there.
Yeah, I know he is a big fan of the
Yeah.
Finnish sauna.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Man. Okay.
Do you have anything else that you want to talk about from the tournament? Any particularly memorable moments or great experiences?
Yeah. Well, I think because so many games went 2-2 and the last.
And the last one
And
was.
I don't want to look at the games. I don't want to look. It's so horrible watching the games.
Yeah.
Especially when my own games had ended pre-war. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you?
Well,
you-
it made for a very exciting watching experience.
It
I'll
absolutely
tell you
did.
that much, so.
It absolutely did. Did you usually? Were you ever in that deciding game? Were you ever the one?
No,
No, never. Fair enough. Did you have a team all-star that went like 6-0 over the course of that? Did you go 6-0?
yeah.
You're the team all-star, naturally. Yeah.
yeah, Haley too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Haley too.
Yeah.
There you have it, folks. She's still
Yeah.
good. She's still good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks very
Okay.
much.
Thanks for joining us, and
here.
congratulations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well-deserved victory.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We're going to go to another intermission screen, and then we're going to come back and interview Norbert, head judge, I think, basically head judge.
Yeah.
At the event here, yeah. Welcome back. We're here with Norbert. Norbert, I'm gonna mispronounce your last name, so I'm gonna let you do it.
Oh, come on, give it a shot.
Is it Brun?
Brunhuber.
Brunhuber. Thanks.
Well
thanks.
done, guys.
Norbert Brunhuber. Effectively head judge, basically. Is
That's
that
right.
your
Yep.
title?
Yeah, and
head
also part of the WTC committee.
and also part of the WTC committee.
Yeah.
Big. Basically, one of the major moving parts here at the convention, a big reason why this exists as it does. So we just kind of wanted to bring you on and talk to you a little
Cool.
bit about the day. What great finals, yeah?
Unbelievable. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better, in terms of an event organizer, I'm looking for interesting drama to be played there. I don't have any preferences for people winning, but I am interested in, upsets and different kind of hard, strong matches coming up, and I couldn't have asked for anything more. The entire weekend was just amazing
Especially
stuff.
all the streamed games were incredibly exciting to watch.
Oh,
so,
great. Yeah, I mean, I can only catch them here and there, but you guys sat through them all, so I'll take your word for it.
You did see the final?
I stood
deciding
right
game
there.
here,
I stood right there because when it went 2-2 against the,
Yeah.
I said, well, we're going to make sure this last game is going to go squeaky clean.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there were three judges around that
Can you
particular
ask
table.
for a better ending than having Kruger thrown forward to
No.
attempt to?
But that shows you the height of competition here.
Yeah.
I mean, people were doing anything and everything to get these things. I mean, I saw a Tattoo. He did 3 pushes on his Butcher 3 to finally get into this 18-inch or whatever the hell it comes out to assassination run. I mean, you don't see that sort of stuff.
yeah.
You don't see that stuff, but you see it here, the
Yeah.
WTC. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what has to happen if you want to win. That's what you have to do.
It's just a variety of exceptional players, and when you get exceptional players together to play games, a lot of this, we talk a lot about the matchups and how they break down, and that stuff is relevant. But when you get just the best players in the world to play against each other, anything can happen,
Yeah.
and anything will happen. Basically.
Basically. Yeah, I mean, we in the past used to have a lot of 4-1s, 5-0s, but this particular weekend, it's been majority 3-2s.
Yeah,
3-2s.
That was a lot of the straight 3-2s.
Yeah.
And a lot of them coming down to the very last game.
Yeah,
So it'd be 2-2, and then we'd have to wait for the
we'd
finish.
have to wait for the finish to know who was going to win. Yeah. Yeah, there were 0 5-0s. I think we may have only had 1 4-1, maybe 2 4-1s.
Wow.
But yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy. And, the first round generally is kind of like more of a friendly round.
Sure.
And people try to just, you shake each other out. And the second one's where people kind of start getting into categories. The first round, major players were sweating bullets and coming out of that 3-2s. First round.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
It was great. It was really fantastic.
How many total teams did we have this year?
50.
50. Is that up from previous years?
Slightly lower.
Slightly lower.
I can't remember. We had at least 52, if not 54 last
Okay,
year. I can't
all right,
remember.
all right.
Yeah.
I know we.
But essentially the same number of teams.
Roughly the same number of teams. Yeah.
Yeah.
And venue here was fantastic.
Oh, man.
Ireland host.
The best it's ever been, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a professional building. It had the Wi-Fi that was still robust enough to let us do this sort of thing.
Absolutely.
It had the stage so that we could set people up
Yeah.
here, so that people had a little quieter area. Plus, you had plenty of space and all the proper equipment because this is a real stage. I mean, I'm looking at this place. It's like being backstage at a theater.
Yeah.
And so all that really came together to make this not only fantastic games being played, but being brought out to the global community, which is a
Absolutely.
really big thing that we wanted to do as a committee.
Yeah. Yeah. We're hoping to generate a little excitement, at least back home in the States, and get some more interest driven for the WTC, and maybe expand this format to other events in the States.
Yeah, there's really no reason it can't be done. I mean, if
Right.
people take a look at this and they see now that this is not a gimmick, the whole purpose of the whole pairing process is to make sure that this is an actual functioning team. The point is to try to make sure we don't do too much to distort what Warmachine games are about, but at
Right.
the same time, we're not saying these are 5 individuals happen to play. They do need to think about how they're going to work together,
Yeah.
and that's the whole point. And so that's what makes this a really, really step up from a lot of different tournaments that you see out there.
That's capturing the pairings and being able to watch through it and speculate through it. Like, I think it really, I hope at least that the people watching the stream felt like Chad and I did about how deep it is, how interesting it is, how engaging it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game in and of itself before the game, and it's very fascinating.
Yeah.
Especially with how deep we were able to go into it, and then half the time be wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Or what did it, 80%, 90%.
90% of the time we
end
were
up
wrong.
being
yeah.
wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. So it'd be great to see some of it happening stateside. I mean, it's pretty straightforward format. They could certainly copy our rules pack. It's available for download on our website, and yeah, it's just a really engaging format. And I think it allows builds and it allows people to do things that maybe they don't get to do on a regular tournament, singles type tournament. So
Can you give us an idea of where we might be next year for WTC, or is it still too much of a secret?
Still a secret, but
Okay.
I doubt all the people outside are going to hear this in time to know. So I can reveal that we will be in the Netherlands next year.
The Netherlands, very
You
Netherlands.
good.
heard it here
Yeah.
first.
Very good, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll be at the Netherlands. Fantastic place, very easy to get to. Also tasty beers.
Yeah,
So
I'm excited. I hope I'll be back. I'm going to try to be back.
So
Yeah.
that's where we'll be. So I hope everybody can join us. And I can't really look forward to hearing about all I mean, there's so much analysis now to be done.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
right.
so many games to pick over, so many stats with the Peter Galblum, one of the other committee members. He's built the pairing process software, and that software also is a database that can be queried.
Yeah.
And so people can carry out all kinds of different analysis with it. So I'm really looking forward to see what people see about this, particularly because, as you know, we controversially chose to let these lists ride, even though they came after the nerf.
Yeah.
And I think even though these were less than ideal lists, as a result, we need to take a look at what gameplay meant in the light that they were played as they were. you
Well,
know?
we just heard from the Finnish team captain that he played Haley to 6 rounds today and or 6 rounds between the 2 days and didn't drop a game. So
Yeah.
she must still be quite good.
I'm not sure you can say the same for Denegger too.
Yeah, that was
But,
it was interesting. Yeah, although we did comment on the fact that might be an issue of faction and having another choice that was quite good,
Yeah,
whereas Signar
true.
might not. But,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So
But yeah,
so-
there's a lot to talk about as
Yeah,
far as that's
yeah.
concerned.
Yeah, and you know, the part of the reason we were able to make that decision is because it was a team event. You know,
Sure.
if it were a singles thing, it'd be a far different story. But here, you know, how well did the team get to absorb these sort of things became a bit of a game in into itself. So
Yeah.
looking forward to seeing it. But overall, and I want to give loads of credit to the Australians. I mean, they were really the darlings of the conference the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, every round they were hard fought, but they both were kept pacing with each other. And day 2, you know, like they were honeymooning last year, and then day 2
Yeah.
completely burnt out first round. Not the case this time around. So really hats off to those guys. They struggled, and man, the look on their faces when it just fell apart on them at the very, very, very last moment was just brutal. It shows you just how much people really care about
Yeah.
this game.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
It's really great to see. So, and lastly, the committee, the Irish team, I just want to congratulate them. They put in countless hours.
Yeah.
They made everything smooth. They did it all for free on volunteer basis. I mean, I can't thank them enough for all the work that they put into it. They gave this show to the world, really.
Yeah,
They really
absolutely.
did.
Yeah, and you can tell that they poured their heart and soul into
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely. They didn't want anything to go wrong. And thank you, too. You guys are troopers. Without you, this wouldn't have gone out into the world either. I really, really appreciate it.
It was a lot of fun. We're really
Yeah.
glad we could do
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I feel like I should be thanking you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, so
So-
thank you for putting on the
Yeah,
show. I mean,
yeah.
that allowed us to come here and do this.
Yeah.
'Cause I had a blast all weekend long.
Yeah, thank you for
So-
thank
Well,
you for everything.
My reward will be just seeing everybody in front of me now during the closing ceremony.
That's right, it's
It
true.
really
That's
is
right, it's
such a high, like you can't believe. You know,
I-
it's a successful show. Like
I
that.
believe it. I
Yeah,
believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thanks to the 2 guys behind the scenes. I know they're over there working their asses off. Nobody can see them, so
Yeah,
thank
I
you for
know.
that.
Clinton Matthew, amazing, amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
And thanks for all the people out there who watched. We kept track of everybody, you know, how many people were watching, things like that. You guys were troopers in all different time zones, so thanks very much for sticking
Yeah.
with us, and hopefully you can tell your friends about what you saw.
All right, so I guess now we're going to go to a brief intermission, and then we're going to have a special announcement, and then we're going to be done. I'm not sure if we're broadcasting the closing ceremonies. We are not going to be broadcasting the closing ceremony, so that's going to be it for us here at the WTC 2015. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. It's just been an absolute blast.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
We are here. Well, I'm Clint. This is Mayhew. We're from Enter the Crucible. We're the tech guys. We have a ton. The special announcement is that we have a ton of thank yous to put out. First of all, Norbert and
Yes.
the WTC committee for
Yes, sir.
arranging all of this and making it great.
Mhm.
Ireland.
Yeah.
Ireland is awesome.
Yes.
Great beer, great people.
Mhm.
Just a great place. Beautiful. Beautiful. We have a ton of judges here from all over the world.
Mhm.
Huge thank you to them. The Irish brought a ton of volunteers. Got the tables up and running. Helped us out with the tech processes and all that stuff. So huge thank you to them. Chain Attack for hosting the stream. Thank you so much for letting us for partnering up with us.
Yes.
Along with that partnership, Muse on Minis. They helped us with the fundraiser
Yes,
to get
it's for the fundraiser.
Yep, to get the money to fly out here to buy some extra gear. They provided 4 cameras.
Yes,
so
they let us borrow 4 of their cameras.
Yep, they helped out a ton. Huge thank you to the commentators, both Josh and Chad, who are right over there.
Who did a great job all weekend.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they're champs.
Yes.
I mean, that's especially right after lunch. This is not an easy job.
No, it's not easy. And the fact that they did all 6 rounds over the course of 2 days is amazing. It's like
Yep.
it's great. This type of work does wear at a certain point, and the fact that they just powered through it and delivered what I felt was solid commentary.
And
Awesome.
basically every break was bathroom breaks,
Mhm.
lunch, and research.
Rest.
That's what every break was. So any stoppage in the stream was them trying to get ready for the next matchup and predictions and all that stuff. Huge thank you to the fundraisers. I mean the people that participated in the fundraiser for
Yes,
this event.
thank you very much.
Huge.
This would not have been possible if it wasn't for your support during the course of the fundraiser.
Absolutely not. The Enter the Crucible Patreons helped out a ton too. We used some of that money for this. The art was done by Keith Alexander.
Yes, from Black Flag Gaming, who is phenomenal. He did all of the art on a volunteer basis, and I give him huge props for that. It looks amazing. What he was able to do made the stream look so much better. It was a big improvement.
He did
over
all the
that.
overlays. He
Yes.
did all the artwork, and just.
And we were even like right before I left was like going back and forth on last minute things as far as like what we could do, what we could add to the stream. Like it was again, I can't say enough. Like
And that guy does this full time, so
Yeah.
he did it in his spare time.
Yeah.
He worked a bunch of hours on it.
yeah, you can find if you Google Black Flag Gaming, you can find he has his own little thing that
Morehouse saying hi.
His own podcast, his own videos. They're great quality. I would really check them out.
Yep. The music was done by Rob Harvey.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yes. Who volunteered and did every single one of the music. We even had a selection process with the WTC committee.
Yep.
What was going to be their theme music, and he synchronized it to the 3D video that Keith Alexander came up with. It was like the fact that thing even exists is a testament to how awesome this community is.
Yep.
Just strangers offering stuff to this.
Yep. Page 5 was here. They also streamed they streamed a bunch, and they also recorded 5 games every round. So check out Page 5E, right?
Page 5DE, I think.
Page5de.com or dot Germany or something, whatever theirs.
Germany.
The Germans are awesome.
No, they did a great job. I mean, I looked at their setup too. They were doing phenomenal.
Yep. So check out their stuff. They've recorded a bunch of games. Also, Hobby Geek streamed the Solo Masters,
Yeah.
and I believe recorded games as well.
Yes, he was streaming the Solo Masters all weekend. He's another cool guy.
Yep.
Came around, hung out with us a little bit. We had a little bit of a stream brotherhood going on.
Yeah, Stream Brotherhood was tight this year.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we will all be doing this next year, and you all will be watching next year, and we'll just have a great old time.
Great old time. I would like to say before we fully wrap up, unfortunately we will not be able to do a rebroadcast today because we have to shut down all of our equipment. But we will have.
We got to go home.
Yeah, we got to hook. Fancy that. But we will have all of the the games that we streamed, we should have on YouTube relatively shortly. I know Chain Attack is pulling the Twitch feeds off as well, so it'll be on Chain Attack's YouTube, and it'll probably be on Enter the Crucible's YouTube. I will also be going through and getting all of the individual games that we recorded set up. That will take a while. I can't promise how long it's going to take. Video editing and processing takes
time.
forever, and we're looking at 30 games that we have to go through.
6 times 5, yeah.
30 games. So, but we will be working on getting those up as soon as we can.
And they're all great games.
They're all great games.
Just
like,
so many great games.
I will say it's like I feel very fortunate that not only that we're here, but also the fact that while we were here, we got 6 great rounds. Like all the rounds came to the wire.
No 5-0s.
No, yeah, we had like the Germany versus USA team came down to the wire. The finals came down to the wire. No blowouts, just all like really close round-wise games, and it was a great event.
And we were talking, we just want to go home and play Warmachine right now.
Yeah, it's like I was like, look, I got to watch Warmachine for
2 days,
3 days because
of the 3 days.
Yeah, the Finn game, and I was like, I should play that game. That game looks cool.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of fun to watch. Definitely a lot of fun to stream. Thanks again to the Enter the Crucible guys, the other guys on our podcast who helped us
we could
with
not have done it without their
ideas.
support.
Yeah, ideas with the testing, with the everything, support, and all that. That jazz.
Helping us with our test stream, helping us with the commentary. Yeah, we can't do it without the support structure we have at home, and it's important that we say that not just everything around here, not the support we had at the venue, the support we had with the WTC, but the support at home was critical in order to make this work.
Yep.
So
once again, thank you very much. Hope you all have a great rest of the year.
And I'm going to stumble around while I shut down the stream. So.
Yep. Because the tech guys are here.
Yeah, the tech guys are here. So
we're going to go over there and turn it off.
A little bit of behind the scenes.
Yeah. Thank you again.
Thank you for watching.